This week, we look at the quiet town of Norwalk, Iowa, where one person's steady unraveling ended in one of the worst scenes imaginable. Welcome to Small Town Murder. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Small Town Murder.
Yay!
Oh, Jimmy, your yay is well warranted. As usual this week, my name is James Pietragallo. I'm here with my co-host.
I am Jimmy Whisman.
Wow, we're so excited, as you can tell by the enthusiasm of the yay and the response to the yay.
No doubt.
Really, we're excited for this stuff. Thank you guys so much for joining us. It's been a great week this week. Quickly, would like to thank everybody that came out. It's going to be about a week and a half ago when this comes out to the Hollywood Improv to see us there. That was awesome. Thank you guys so much. When we said from stage, Jimmy said "Small Town Murder." There was quite a cheer, and it was pretty cool to. That was awesome, guys. Thank you so much for doing that.
And the people lining up to say hello to us. It was
great
because Dan was there too, and we thought that all those people were just waiting on him. And we felt kind of like we were clogging the way, and we kind of moved to the side, and then the line would shift with us.
That was cool. Thank you guys for that.
It was fucking amazing.
Really. And,
people flew from Utah to see us.
Yeah,
people drove down from San Francisco. It was fucking nuts.
We were blown away by the support. Thank you guys so much. It was really fun to hang out with you guys.
Yeah.
And if you want to hang out with us a little bit more, come to Chicago on December 14th, where we'll be doing a live show at Lincoln Hall. And there'll be an ad for it later on in the show that we'll put in. And there'll be the link to the tickets in the show description. We're going to have a good time.
Like when we say that our audience is vast and varying, we're not kidding. And it showed in L.A. because we had
everybody.
We had ladies from Utah. We had like Cholo.
Oh, we had Cholo Tire Shop.
Shop guys.
Cholo Tire Shop guys.
Wearing like
great.
Dodgers hats.
Oh, we love those guys.
It was fucking
They were
incredible.
Cool as shit. We had the attorney dude that we hung out with.
And then we had the Hollywood
people. That was a lot of fun.
It was wild.
Would like to thank everyone for their iTunes reviews this week because they're huge.
Yeah.
They're huge. We're approaching 5,000.
It's ridiculous.
That is a big number, and that's so great. It puts us in some pretty good company as far as those reviews go, because iTunes, with their funky algorithm, the way the charts work, it's really weird. So they help us out so much. They put a lot of weight on those reviews. So if you have not done it yet, please get on iTunes. Give us 5 stars. It really doesn't matter what you say.
Yeah.
We're not looking for a love letter for our egos. It's really just for the business purpose of getting up the charts.
Save your love letter for when you come see our live show.
That's right. Do that and come out and see a live show, because we're setting up live shows all over the place.
Yeah.
So coming to you soon, near you soon. If the iTunes reviews are not enough, if you're one of these phenomenal, amazing people,
there's several,
and we have a list of them for later, our amazing producers. You can help out a little more by going to patreon.com/crimeinsports, which is our other podcast. Yep. All that money goes to us, and you should be listening to Crime in Sports as well.
May as well.
It's funny stuff, and you don't have to like sports. Trust me.
Truth.
It's mainly crime and us making fun of idiots. So, I mean, that's what you want to see anyway.
That's real.
That's good stuff. If you want to make a one-time donation, you can also do that over at PayPal, just using our email address, which is crimeinsports@gmail.com.
Yes.
And that is amazingly appreciated. Honestly, guys, we've had a lot this week, too, and we thank you guys for it so much. Even $1, when people donate $1, it's amazing to us. It is.
It means a lot because you took the time to do it. And it's bananas that when it shows up, it's just like,
it's amazing.
It's somebody that took their time for us.
And even like $1 on Patreon, and you might go, what's $1 a month? It means the world. First of all, that you went out of your way to do it. And second of all, there's a lot of you guys, and those dollars add up.
Yes.
And if everybody gave $1, we would be doing very well for ourselves.
We might be able to do 3 of these a week.
If everybody gave $1, we'd come to the studio every day at that point, because we'd be doing very well. So thank you guys for everything you do. It's so appreciated. And if you don't want to do any of that, that's fine, because we're going to shut up and give you murder in a minute.
That's what we'll do.
But before that, we have to hit the disclaimer.
May as well.
Have to tell you guys, this is a comedy podcast.
Right, so.
It is not. The research is real. The show, all the stories are real. Everything is real. All of that is real. But we are going to make jokes. We're stand-up comics.
It's going to happen.
We're going to make jokes. This is the thing here. This is the important part, though. Okay, we make jokes at the expense of towns, maybe a bumbling police force. Maybe we make
people that deserve it.
Make fun of a murder. We do not, and we go out of our way to make sure to not make jokes at the expense of the victims or of the victims' families.
Right.
Like we say over and over, we are assholes, but we're not scumbags.
It's true.
We're not about that.
Right.
But if that sounds great to you, then you're on board. Then we're going into this liquor store together.
Here we go.
If anybody gets shot, you're involved.
You bet.
No complaining afterwards. afterwards. It's really not that bad. If you think that true crime and comedy never belong together, then you probably shouldn't be listening to this podcast. You're probably not going to like it, and we don't want to hear complaints about it later. So have a good one. Sayonara. Enjoy. But for the rest of you, for the awesome people who are left, all of you great people here who have not gone back at the last chance to leave the roller coaster sign, let's go on a trip, shall we? Let's go on a trip. This is not a tourist area. We'll say that. This isn't a place you would normally go on a trip.
We're leaving New Hampshire then.
We're leaving New Hampshire. Yeah, that was nice.
That was ridiculous.
It was pleasant. We went into Boston. We went into Boston. We got some seafood. It was great. It was
that part was nice. The side trip.
That was speaking of Boston early next year. Look out for us in 2018 coming to Boston, people. Date soon. But now we're going to head to the Midwest of the United States. We're going to head to Iowa. Oh, exciting. I know you're excited, Jimmy. I saw the look on your face. You should have seen him. He got flushed in red right away. He's like, oh, my, Iowa. That's it's like going to Tijuana for him.
It's very much like Illinois in that the rural areas, I don't know what the fuck you do.
It's like Illinois without people.
Right.
It's like Illinois and they forgot to make a Chicago. That's the problem. They were like, well, Des Moines good enough. Right. No, it's fine. We got the Quad Cities here. It's like you got Quad Cities make one half city. So don't tell me a quad shit. Fuck you, Iowa.
And what is there in Iowa? There's
like
Des Moines.
There's Des Moines.
And that's it.
Des Moines. And there's some Des Moines. And speaking of Des Moines, let's go to a town outside of Des Moines.
Okay.
Shocking, right?
Yeah.
Yes. We're going to Norwalk, Iowa. By the way, I actually have never met a person from Iowa that I don't like.
Okay.
Oddly enough. They're the nicest people. Iowa and Oklahoma are the two nicest people, and I savage their states. Savage them.
I have just the opposite. I've never met somebody from Iowa.
I've known
Maybe
several.
They all stay there, and the other ones just meet you.
They're all super nice.
Really?
They're super nice. They all have corn experience. Seriously, everyone I know from Iowa is like, I was a shucker as a teenager. And you're like, you were a shucker?
That's a job.
Shucking corn as a teen. Yeah. In the summer when you're looking for a little extra work, apparently that's shucking season.
All right.
And you get your ass out there, you get shucking, and you make some extra cash.
What about the guy that cracked it? That Jimmy guy.
I don't know what he did. I don't think he gets paid.
No,
I don't think he gets paid. I think he does that. I think that's community service. Actually, is what he was charged with, a very serious crime. We'll talk about somebody he might be related to here, and some of these people. Norwalk, Iowa, we're going to here.
Terrific.
It's the south central part of the state, dead center. Iowa has just rectangular counties. They're lined up perfectly. Really? They're all in a line.
It's just a big grid of counties.
It's a grid, exactly. They're not even like staggered a little bit. There's a line that just goes across all of them, and it's so strange.
Somebody's just like, fuck it. It's not going to matter.
They laid
Nobody's
it out,
going to care.
so it makes sense anyway, at least, because they could do it then. It's right there. It's just outside of. This town is middle of the road in every way. It's in the middle of the state, which is in the middle of the country. We'll get to the stats and everything. It is the middle of the road town. This is Main Street, USA, right here. Pretty much is where we are, and it really feels like that when you're doing this. It's about 20 minutes outside of Des Moines, which sounds like that's not too far from the city, but it's Des Moines, so it's really not. 20 minutes outside of Des Moines. That's like it's the capital, but that's like being the capital of an ear of corn, basically. It
may as well be forever away because it
doesn't matter. It doesn't, and you get there, and then what? Like I said, now we're at the capital of an ear of corn. This is going to be great. I don't think that's going to help any. It's in Warren County. Norwalk is some small portions extending into Polk County because I think they made the counties. It's weird. Like I said, they're all very square.
County line.
It's on a county line, exactly. Zip code here 50211. Area code 515. It's about 11 square miles. So not a tiny town, not a huge town, just kind of a mid-size, middle of the road in every single goddamn way. It's apparently a decent place to live, and this is what I mean. It's Main Street, USA. Movoto.com apparently ranks best places to live in states. I saw this. They have a ton of states, and in the top 10 places in Iowa to live, it is the number 6 best place to live in Iowa.
How about that?
It's not bad. Which
Did
makes
they give reasons for that? Is that like
it's everything? Yeah, they give reasons. It's
nightlife, job income, stuff like that.
It's basically like it's a nice family town. It's sort of affordable. It's it's clean. I mean, the school systems are good. 6th best place to live in Iowa is like the 14th best place to live in hell. Basically, at that point, though, you know what I mean. You're not really.
Those rankings are dumb too because it's like best for who? Like you know what I mean? Like best family life. That's not going to be conducive to like.
Maybe for a college kid, I don't think this would be the best town or a retired person. But I feel like it feels like from these websites, if you're a 37-year-old white family with 2.2 kids, this is the best place to live. Perfect. That's middle of the road.
Right.
They're
straight and white.
Straight and white. Right. Bring your children. God damn it! You must have children to enter this town.
Right.
The slogan here. I love these damn slogans of these towns.
That's quickly becoming my favorite part.
It really is becoming my favorite part. The slogan here is noticeably Norwalk.
What?
Are these people disfigured from a rendering plant that went fucking haywire? What happened? Why is it so noticeable?
Noticeably
Is there a
Norwalk?
smell?
Right.
Is there some? Are they making?
It's very specifically boring. Is that what it is?
Apparently, noticeably Norwalk. I looked at pictures of this town and compared to the other top 10 towns. It's not noticeably shit. They all look exactly the same. They all look exactly the same. Just houses and little white kids running around. That's it. Little blonde kids that look very happy. And it looks, there's not a lot of, it's weird. I know there's trees and shit there, but whenever they show pictures of any kind of living, it's just landscape. There's nothing there. There's these new trees that are planted.
Brand new ones still have the braces on them.
It looks like
the sticks with the wire holding them up.
That's what I mean. All of Iowa, from the pictures I've seen, granted, I've never been there, and I'm sure there's lush forests all throughout the land. I'm sure. But everything I've seen looks like it's like a brand new landscape at Disneyland, and they're like, we need some fucking trees in here. This is getting kind of put a house, maybe a water park over there. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, those little blonde kids need somewhere to play. That's what it seems like.
In about 30 years, this tree is going to be good for that little white kid to build a fucking tree house.
He's going to build a tree house. That's very middle of the road. He needs a tree house. All these kids need tree houses. This town is named after Norwalk, Ohio. So even originally there, they're like, that town in Ohio, man, I can't stop thinking about it. I can't stop thinking about it. We have to rename this town.
Connecticut, too, isn't there?
There is a lot of Norwalks.
What the fuck does that even mean? What is the Norwalk?
My guess is there's a town in England called Norwalk that everything got named after in the East, and then people went to the Midwest, and they were like, I like my hometown in Norwalk. And then here we go. It spreads like wildfire, and you have that's why every state has the same towns.
Yeah,
they all have the same towns.
Also, too, like if you hate something so much and you go somewhere else to create something better, how about you don't name it after everything you fucking hate? Stop that.
Came here, that place sucked.
White people are so uncreative.
Do that. Yeah, it's true. Yeah, because we say that only because white people settled things. That's it. There was no,
and they don't create anything without like naming it homage to something else.
Yeah.
Like fucking just be proud of what you did.
We definitely know it was white people in 1846 that were settling here. The first settlers came around then, 1846. One of the guys here named Samuel Crow.
Couldn't name it Crowtown?
No.
Or Crow, Iowa?
No, well,
okay.
let's find out what Mr. Crow
I'm
here
really
did.
pissed about
I am
this.
too. I don't understand it either. I've been saying this forever. Have some creativity. There shouldn't be 14 fucking Miamis in the United States.
There's a Miami, Arizona,
That's
for
what
fuck's
I mean.
sake.
There's Miamis everywhere. Ohio has no business having a Miami. None. Zero. There's none.
If there's snow, it's not fucking Miami.
Not Miami.
Right.
No, that's what I mean. It's so. It's nobody has any goddamn creativity here. There's a guy named Samuel Snyder. Everybody named Samuel back then. Samuel Snyder here. He built the first log cabin. That's the first construction anybody built here. There was no trees, anything, so he really had to work for those logs. I'm sure. He's like, there's only those little trees with the wires on it. I don't know where they came from. We're the first people here.
Raise some saplings to build his fucking house.
Apparently, the natives are very concerned with the saplings falling over in the wind. Good for them. The next year after that, more families started settling, and it became known the town as Pyra. Pyra. That's at first. So I don't know.
I'm impressed. Greek. It sounds like a Pokemon.
It's something. Yeah, it sounds like a Pokemon that shoots fire out of his eyes or some shit.
Or his asshole.
Or his
and
asshole.
His tail's on fire constantly.
That's pretty solid
for
here.
no fucking reason at all.
Yes. Now, what I tell you in a minute is going to piss you off, but I saved it because you asked and I couldn't let it out of the bag then. First, the post office here established June 18th, 1856.
Yeah.
A guy named George L. Swan he laid out the town. He had like all the planning of the town and the grid and all that shit, and said let's leak over into that next county a little bit here. And he put up a hotel there. These towns, once they get a hotel, then they're in business.
That's getting fucking lodging going. You got tourism. Let's do it.
And it seems like whoever makes the hotel gets to name the town. It's oddly enough.
Yeah,
he's the businessman of the town. He gets to name it. And guess where he's from?
Where?
He is from Norwalk, Connecticut.
Get the fuck out of here.
That's right. And also, too, he went. Good God. he moved to Norwalk, Ohio, also where he had a newspaper there.
Is this serious?
I swear to God.
He's naming all the fucking towns in America, Norwalk?
No. He moved from Norwalk to Connecticut, and then moved Norwalk, Connecticut, where he's from, to Norwalk, Ohio, which was named Norwalk already.
Yeah.
So he's 2 for 2 in Norwalks, and then he moves to Iowa, and he's like, you know what this town could use? Norwalk. That's what it could use. It could use the name of Norwalk.
This guy's an asshole.
Yeah, he just didn't. I feel like he had those little stickers with your address on them, and he's like, I'm going to name this street this with this address, and we're in Norwalk now. It's fine. He crosses out.
He doesn't want to just buy an.
He crosses out the little CT on Connecticut and just writes in Iowa.
He's tired of buying new fucking mail labels. That's all.
He's like, you know what? I'm tired of this shit.
What
Everywhere
a cheap dick.
I only moved to Norwalk. If the town's not named Norwalk, I'll change the goddamn name to Norwalk.
Hilarious.
1882 had the first railroad construction, so that it went from Des Moines to Missouri down there.
Yeah.
So that obviously makes things a little better here. Norwalk finally incorporated in 1900.
Okay.
They had a guy named Adam Stifler as his first mayor. Yes, we all. I looked at Joey Big Guy. Yeah, you can't.
Who fucked his mom?
Exactly.
Which one?
You can't not do it. But Stifler here.
Somebody in Norwalk is banging the hell out of a mannish-looking woman.
Well, that's the thing. He was very upset about that. The town originally at this point was only 1 square mile, and he said, God damn it, I need more room to put my mom so people don't fuck her. And then that's what happened. We got another 10 miles out of it. He was very upset. Very upset with that whole thing. Phone service here began in 1903, so you could call all the other Norwalks and say, we're Norwalk too. Holy shit,
guess
great.
What?
Oh, my God. The railroad was there shipping out all the livestock because there was a lot of livestock there, and obviously there's corn everywhere.
Yeah.
But livestock was a big deal.
Cattle and hogs, is that what it is?
I believe so. Okay. Yeah, pigs in Iowa, maybe.
I think so.
Yeah, there's some.
Well,
pigs
I mean,
there.
if there's a bunch of corn there, you're going to raise whatever eats pigs.
That's the thing. Yeah,
and pigs love corn.
Pigs eat corn. Pigs will eat anything.
Yeah.
Pigs eat people, for Christ's sake.
That's why they're pigs.
like if you kill someone in the Gem Saloon in Deadwood, you bring it to Mr. Wu, you throw it over the fence, Jimmy. Watch Deadwood.
Or it's Snatch.
I'm going to start with some Deadwood.
You bring it to the horrible cunt, and he feeds him. Yeah.
So his primary here, like I said, they're shipping out shit on the railroad, all sorts of pig shit everywhere. There's a big flood in 1947. Screws up a bridge, and then the railroad's kind of abandoned from there. Yeah, from the livestock. So then they go, I don't know what we're going to do now. I guess just sit here and look at each other.
1947?
1947,
well,
this happens.
Good thing they've got cars now, so
that's
they can fucking truck them out.
We can truck everything. We're good here. People here, 10,135 people population-wise, which it's growing a lot because it's up 77% from 1990.
Holy shit.
That's a shitload. Yeah, 5,726 in 1990.
Wow.
So it's pumping.
Yeah.
This town is doing very well.
What are they doing different now?
And you can tell it's on the rise, too, because the median age is actually 2 years lower than the average.
All right.
It's 35.7. So there's younger people coming there. These families, it's the best place to live. These people are 35 years old with their 2 little kids, and they're doing everything here.
It's noticeable. That's why.
Noticeable, and it's noticeably Norwalk. Obviously, the married population here is about 61%, which is about 11% higher than the average. So it's a family kind of a town. A lot of kids here, that sort of thing. The divorce rate's slightly lower than normal.
Gotcha.
Less widowed people because I feel like it's skewing a little bit younger, that sort of thing. More married with children than normal, so it's that sort of thing. Less people that are single in general, no children, that sort of deal. Racially, I'll give you a hint here. I'll give you a guess. What do you think here, Jimmy?
90% something 90% white people.
Pacific Islander? No, Jimmy, you're absolutely wrong. I'm sorry.
There's a lot of fishermen here. I know it.
94.75% white.
Oh, my God.
Which
is
is
so milquetoast.
Kind of to be expected here. 0.0% black. They're not coming there at all. 0.48% Asian. They need a couple restaurants here. The younger people are like, look, we need some diversity of foods at least if we're getting. And that's
9%?
0.48%. Yeah.
Not even a half.
It's like 4 restaurants worth. That's it. But they bring in actual Chinese cooks, which you got to respect in a Chinese restaurant. They're not just putting some, a couple guys from Guadalajara back there and saying, calling them Kim every time they call back for an order. So I respect that. 2.88% Hispanic.
Yeah.
So that's not bad there. There's a couple Hispanic people they brought in anyway. I think they just brought them in.
Those saplings, babe.
Yeah, I think maybe that's probably why the sad part. Honestly, that's probably what it is. Religion-wise here, less than the average, which is not what I would expect. And they're pretty mild in Iowa.
Yeah.
They're not real. They're not like, I feel like there's no fervor for anything, whether it's religion or whatever. They're like, take it easy a little bit.
Shit to do either.
Look, the corn's in, okay?
Yeah.
Let's all calm down.
Yeah.
Let everybody get out there and shuck a little bit more.
Everybody relax.
We'll think about Jesus out in the fields. Let's just do that.
But that's not the case, huh?
I know, 40% religious, and the usual is 50% is the average. 10% Catholic, 5.5% other faith, 0.0% Jewish, 0.0% Muslim, as we would expect in the middle of Iowa.
Pete.
Literally the middle of Iowa. The voting, very down the middle again. It's just like Iowa's kind of a toss-up state. It's been lately. 48% Democrat, 50% Republican.
Okay.
So right there. Low unemployment rate, about 3.5%, which isn't bad at all. Household income here is high. This is another thing. I mean, this is apparently there's
corn pays the bills.
Corn pays the bills. I think there's some industry in Des Moines, which is only 20 minutes away, so there's stuff to do there. Median household income here is $80,406.
Wow, corn is expensive.
That's $27,000 over the average, which is crazy because every time I go to the store, every time I buy like corn on the cob, it's when it's 10 for $1.
Fuck.
It's 10 for $1.
Literally damn near free.
You can buy a sack of corn that you could beat a man to death with for $1. $1. What else can you buy that's heavy enough to beat someone with to death for $1? It doesn't exist. A can, maybe,
no.
if you really get him with a corner of it. But I'm talking a sack. You can dent his skull with this shit.
If you went to a landscape place and asked for like a 5-pound rock, I feel like that's like $5.
It's going to be more than $1. I feel it's more than $1 a pound here.
That's crazy.
It is.
So that's how much fucking corn is being grown. Somebody can make $80,000 a year
growing some corn. Also, too, we don't know what kind of jobs there are. Also, there's a college in Des Moines, which is another thing. A lot of people in these towns will work in the college, and that's a higher salary usually.
And there's a lot of propaganda saying that corn is super healthy, which it's fucking not because your body can't even digest it.
I don't think there's any propaganda saying corn is healthy.
Really? You've never heard that corn is good for you?
From your grandmother when you're 7. Eat your corn, it's good for you. But I don't think anyone with any medical training has ever said corn is good for you.
I've never seen that pyramid without a piece of corn on it, though.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
They paid for that spot corn. That's why they make $80,000 a year because they have that extra money to pay for your pyramid slot. That's what it is.
That's propaganda, though, for sure. Because that's all government driven.
Corn sucks. Well, I like to eat corn a lot. Corn on the cob.
I'm not even a fan of that.
It's delicious with butter and stuff like that.
Delicious, fuck yeah. But
I don't like corn syrup and soda. I prefer the natural sugar soda. Much better. Tastier and less thick and gross. Anyway, the residents here.
But I don't like eating off the cob because then it gets in your fucking teeth.
Oh, yeah.
It's a nightmare.
That's 2 days of flossing ahead of you right there. You're putting yourself in the way. You have work ahead of you.
After like 2 hours of brushing.
It should come with floss.
It should.
Instead of having those little things you stick on the end to hold it, those should be 2 floss sticks that you eat and then pull the floss out and you have 2 floss sticks to do it with. That's how you sell corn right there. Yeah. I just made corn much better.
So much more money.
They make here.
They're going to have $90,000 a year now.
They are. That's what I mean.
Flossers.
That's what it is. Residents here make 45% above the state average of income. So that's how much. It's also voted Business Week's best affordable suburb in Iowa.
Wow.
So it's a nice place to have a family here. The jobs, a lot of management, business stuff. There's also a lot of blue collar. Yeah. There's also your production, transportation, material moving twice as much as average. Cost of living here isn't that high either. It's not above what you'd expect. Usually when we have a higher pay, there's usually a higher cost of living.
Yeah.
But here we say 100 is average. The cost of living here is 93, which isn't terrible. Housing is 95, which is about average. All this stuff's average, and then the income's high, so that's great. The houses here, you look at it, there are 65% of the houses are between $100,000 and $200,000.
Okay.
So that's not bad either. No. That's decent. And if you are looking, if we've convinced you,
I love this
if this place is noticeable for you and you want to go get down on some corn.
If you have noticed Norwalk,
we have for you here the Norwalk, Iowa Real Estate Report. Okay, there we go. We're back with the real estate report. I love that. That's good. Now we have music. This is official. 26% of the people here are renters, which I feel like that's probably college related, possibly, or something like that. I don't know if they think they're on.
There's got to be a university in Des Moines, right?
Yeah.
There's 20 minutes out. That's not too far. You could commute.
There's also Drake University. I know is near here because we'll talk about why we know that in a little bit here. I found a 2-bedroom apartment here on the average is $870 a month, which is a couple hundred less than the normal. I found a 3 3-bedroom, 2.5-bath, 1,500 square foot house for $172,000.
That's great.
$475,000. Yeah. That's not bad. $185,000 is the average in the U.S. for a house. 4-bedroom, 2-bath. It's 920 square feet. Which
How
I don't
the
know
fuck do you get 4 bedrooms out of
crammed
that?
4 bedrooms.
Those are closets, people.
Those are little
Calm down.
closets. It's a nice looking house, though, with a nice yard that I feel like they've made 1 bedroom into 2 and screwed the whole thing up. But $194,900
They
for
made
that.
both bedrooms into 2.
Probably,
That's what they did.
That's probably they cut those in half.
Fuck yes.
And I found a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 2,210 square foot house.
Wow.
It's a nice house. It's spacious. It's big. Good looking on the outside. $299,900.
Not bad.
And that's kind of like a real nice thing to do there.
$300,000 is about what a 2,000 square foot house goes for. So
you would
makes
imagine
sense.
on the average.
That's about average.
And speaking of things to do, here are your things to do.
Fantastic.
Here. On their Facebook page, the number one thing to do is the St. John's Catholic Church.
Okay.
So that sounds exciting.
That sounds terrible.
Also, 2-bit pinballs. It's a place where you play pinball.
Pinball place?
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Which is cool. I
that's
like
fun,
that.
Yeah.
That is fun. But
I'll
I mean,
drink and
it's
play
the
pinball?
church or pinball. Oh, wow.
I mean, that's slim pickings for shit.
Lots of parades.
Okay.
Parades for every goddamn holiday. Just parades.
That sounds like Iowa.
It's Iowa.
That's what I imagine in Iowa.
Kids with candy getting thrown at them left and right. Niche.com, which is a town review site where users, like people who live there, talk about the town.
Like the dirty.com for towns?
Yeah, it's so average. It's rated 3 out of 5 stars by everybody, and that's where the most votes were for 3. And here's a review of it here. Quote, it's a good place to raise a family. It's safe, has a good school system, and definitely caters to families. However, there isn't much to do, and if given the choice, I would probably choose to live elsewhere.
No.
So that's your review of that
That's an average
place.
review.
They did. That's what I mean. It's so average. It's just there's nothing. This town is the town equivalent of a shoulder shrug. Just I don't know. It's fine. Another review about the crime said, quote, there's almost no crime in this area, and mostly everyone can feel safe. Occasionally, young people will be a little disorderly, but there's almost always no issues with it. The police are visible, trusted, and friendly.
Visible. They're noticeable.
Oh, yeah. You see them. Noticeable. Noticeable.
But the kids will go down to that goddamn pinball arcade and get a little drunk from time to time.
They're cutting up down there, drinking the Mad Dog 2020 out behind the place.
And then they go over to the rectory and apologize for sins, and fucking everything's all forgiven.
That's the truth. And let's find out what kind of crime they get into here.
Yeah.
With the crime here, property crime is less than half the national average.
Really?
So very low.
Yeah.
And then your violent crime, murder, rape, robbery, assault, even lower than that.
Really?
1/3 the national average.
Wow.
This place is safe. Bring the kids.
Yeah.
Load them up. Let's go to Norwalk, Iowa.
Come on down and have a glass of warm milk.
That's exactly what it is. A glass to be warm, too, I feel like.
Yeah.
Let's talk about some people from this town.
Yeah.
What do you say here? A couple of people named Rick Wayne Forsyth is the first person here. And he marries a young lady named Mary Jolene Reinhardt.
Okay.
She goes by Jolene.
Yeah.
Goes by her middle name.
Of course she does.
Of course
It's
she
a
does.
Dolly Parton song.
Midwest.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
it's her favorite fucking song.
For 4 days.
Yeah.
Well, no, she hates that song because whenever anybody meets her, the first thing they say, Jolene,
Right.
Jolene.
That's such a great song, though.
And they have to sing like the whole verse of it, and then Jolene wants to rip her hair out, and she hates everybody.
At least one verse.
I'm gonna go. Yeah, one. I'm gonna go
How
out
crazy
on a limb.
is that too? That Jolene is like she's a redhead in it, right? In the song, I think Jolene.
I believe so. Yeah.
And she stole like the pretty blonde girl's hair.
Yeah, it's
stole the pretty blonde girl's boyfriend.
Yeah, stole Dolly Parton's.
Right.
You're not stealing Dolly Parton's boyfriend.
No.
You're not stealing early
No.
70s Dolly Parton's boyfriend. No. Dolly's first of all, Dolly's a treasure. Okay.
Let me tell you this real quick.
This.
I'm going to tell you a secret that a lot of people don't know. Dolly Parton is covered in tattoos, and that's the hottest fucking thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, well,
covered in them. Like her boobs are covered in them.
Dolly's
Everything
had a
is
crazy
covered
life.
in amazing. There's no lines, James. There's no outline. It's all. It's
Dolly,
so hot.
There's much below the surface with Dolly. Okay, let's not try to. Don't put Dolly in a corner. Nobody puts Dolly in a corner. Do you understand?
Put her in your bed and you never let her go.
That's right. So this Jolene.
God, she's amazing.
So this poor woman here.
I'd fuck Dolly Parton today at the age she's at now.
Yeah.
All chance breaking her hips and
I think so too. And I think Sarah would be okay with it. My wife Sarah, because she's the biggest Dolly Parton fan in the world. Yeah. I think she'd be like, I think you should do this for both of us, and and I think I'd like to be there.
Listen, I wouldn't care if my wife liked it or not. I'd chance a divorce at the chance of banging Dolly Parton.
That would be the most interesting proceeding ever.
I love
her.
She is a treasure.
So I would love to hear that case laid out as your wife's
Dolly
trying to
in
take
an
every
apron?
dime you have.
Forget it.
And it's being read right now. So apparently had an affair with a 74-year-old woman. That's strange.
In an apron, sir. In an apron.
That's very strange. That's odd behavior.
Irreconcilable differences. She doesn't think I should bang Dolly Parton. That's irreconcilable.
Obviously, we're not going to. This isn't going to work, clearly. We have differing opinions.
Sir.
Yeah, no, it's not about raising the kids or where we're going to live or careers or anything like that.
She doesn't think it's acceptable for me to bang a national treasure.
Can I say she's wrong? I'm just going to say she's wrong. So this poor Jolene, people are singing songs to her. She's very frustrated. Yeah. They get married right around the time the song comes out here in the early 70s to mid-70s. Rick has some problems. Okay, Rick has a few problems. Jolene, pretty stable. Yeah. She's a Midwestern gal trying to hold the family together in a nice little town here. Sure. You know, she wants to take the kids down to the parade, get the 10 for $1 corn. It's probably 20 for $1 in Iowa.
It's
Jesus.
So free there.
You just got it probably is. People just throw it out of trucks as that's
We've
what they
got
do in
extras.
parade. There's candy, and then here comes the corn truck. Everyone put your helmets on. Watch out.
Everybody's got a catcher's mitt, I'm sure of it, for the corn
completely.
Throwing.
Well, anyway, they got it anyway because it's Iowa. It's Field of Dreams time. So from an early time here, from the time they're together from a young age, because they get married when they're pretty young. It's a nice Midwestern. It's a John Cougar Mellencamp song, these two.
Is.
You know what I mean? It's Rick and Jolene instead of Jack and Diane. Right. He has a lot of contact with the psychological field, let's just call it. Shrinks of all kinds, psychologists, just anyone that could try to figure out what the fuck is wrong with this guy, what his deal is. But that doesn't stop them from having a lot of children. Now, you don't want to do that. No. If you have psychological problems, you want to have as many kids as possible, I feel like, because I think that's gonna work it out probably. I think maybe he's thinking, I'm going to be so tired from the kids, I'm not going to have time for any crazy. I'm just not. I think that's how it works, right?
My brain will not have time to be a lunatic.
Extra stress makes you, perform better, I hear. I
listen,
feel like.
brain, calm down. We've got diapers to change.
Let's do it.
Listen, brain, we don't have time for this today. No crazy.
They end up with a total of 4 sets of diapers to change.
Jesus.
They have Brian, who's the oldest. He's born in 1975. Then we have Nikki, who's a girl. Jessica, another little girl. And then they have Eric in the mid-'80s, who's their youngest. And he's kind of the apple of Rick's eye. Okay. And we'll find out why too.
So
because
every 2 or 3 years they had a kid.
Every few years they have a kid. There was I want to say a 4 or 5 year difference between Jessica and Eric. There because I think Jessica was born in 81. And Eric was born in 85.
He's an oops. Whoops-a-daisy.
He's an oops, but when you find out, I don't know if he's an oops, because we'll talk about this in a second here. Rick started getting psychotherapy in 1977 is when he really started going regularly and not just like a once-in-a-while thing. And he's going for anger issues. He's very angry. He's only got 1 kid. It's not like he's got the 4 kids and it's just like, I'm just a dad and the house is a fucking mess.
I'm losing my mind.
Yeah, it's not like that at all. I don't know if things were bad in the corn market or what the deal was, but he was angry and had violent impulses here.
Perfect.
Having marital problems already with Jolene. It's only been a few years, 1 kid, and just a general malaise. Basically, he goes in and says, "Well, I'm violent and generally just very depressed," and that's the deal. Just a general malaise has set in. This goes on. He kind of through the late 70s. He stays in therapy pretty regularly because he's got problems. And Jolene tells him, you need to go to therapy. That's kind of her thing. Like, look, dude, you're going to snap and we don't want to be around for it. So why don't you go to therapy?
Being a mom. She's looking out for the safety of everybody in the house.
Exactly. And now once it peters out some in the 80s where he doesn't go as regularly. It's not known exactly. It's not a weekly thing anymore. It's kind of sporadic. And
maybe he can't afford it because that shit gets expensive.
Well, possibly, especially because by 1982, Jessica is born, and that's their third child.
Shit.
So if you have 3 kids, and they're probably 30 years old here, so I mean they have 3 kids.
Yeah.
It's starting to get where it's like, okay, we can't afford that $80 every week.
And if you don't have toys, if you don't have like a motorcycle
they're
or a big
destroy
truck,
your house.
You've got
you're
to
talking about the kids.
No, I'm talking about him. I'm talking about if
yeah.
he's got to sell something and he doesn't have anything to sell to support the family, it's selling his psychotherapy and just giving that shit up. That would be terrible.
I think that was his luxury.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That was my luxury, is to go somewhere so I don't kill everybody in town. So I don't wipe the town out, basically, or just myself or anything else. So he's doing that. He's in general depression, just not feeling very well about himself. 82, Jessica is born. Okay. Now, the reason why I feel like Eric was the apple of his eye, the fourth child, the second son, is because I feel like he wanted a boy. Yeah. He needed a boy that could do his thing. And fathers have a weird thing with that. Like, I need a boy. They have some fantasy that maybe he'll play center field for the Yankees. It could happen. And it's like, I need to have one of those.
He's going to be my best friend. He'll do everything I say.
He's going to be just like me.
They are never
like me. I'm going to name him bro. And then you never know what happens. Not just like you.
Name him bro.
That's an inside joke, but it's exactly what you would think it is. Somebody named it. Anyway, so Jessica is born. Brian, the oldest, and Jessica are both considered, quote, mentally disabled. Okay. Now, I don't know what that meant in the 80s. Yeah. What that could have meant anything in the 80s. I don't know what mentally disabled was back then, but they were in special ed and they were slow and that sort of thing. So I feel like in his mind, he's thinking, well, I don't have that with Brian because he's got a problem or some sort of problem. And I feel like this guy was like, now this one I made right. You know what I mean? He's not fucked up yet, you know? Because I this isn't the greatest guy in the world, is why I say this. This isn't what everybody would think. This is what this kind of a guy would think, I feel like. So they're both in special ed.
I'm on board.
Yeah, you know what I mean? 1984, late 84, Eric is born, and he appears able. Okay. So that's what I mean. He's excited about Eric. He feels
he
like
pick up a bat.
He could. Yeah, he feels like
worry about hitting himself in the head.
You throw an ear of corn at him from a parade float, he's going to catch it.
He catches it or bats it down. One of the two.
One of the two, or he hits it right back up the middle. Right. There we go. Back through the box. Good job, kid. All right.
He laid that one down on a good bunt.
Yeah, that's a good one. Good job. So Rick is working as a bus driver for the school district.
Okay.
Here.
So he's a failure.
I was going to say, I don't know. I know in Phoenix, if I drive by, like my daughter's old middle school, she's in high school now, but you drive by her middle school, they were just advertising for bus drivers, and full-time bus driver, the pay was $10.84 an hour.
And that's what we're having our kids safe.
They're responsible for taking your kid from A to B.
So many kids.
So many kids.
It's
with
Otto
no
from The Simpsons on that fucking thing.
Yeah, no seatbelts in a big box, and you got this guy.
I knew a guy that drove the bus for the kids, and he was not a good person. He was not an okay man.
You're not going to attract the best candidates for a job when you're offering them $12,000 a year. I don't think that's going to cut it for people.
He's sitting in his garage smoking weed, working on a Harley, and then he gets up at 6 a.m. and rides that Harley over to the lot where he picks up a bus and goes and puts America's Children on it.
There's a reason why the Otto character on The Simpsons was, funny, because that's a bus driver. It's either that or a bitter old lady, like a bitter 68-year-old lady who won't speak to anybody. Those are the only two people who drive buses: stoners and bitter 68-year-old ladies.
We called him No Shirt Guy, this neighbor, because he never had a fucking shirt on. And then one year during Christmas, he was putting up Christmas lights, and we were driving by, and from the back he had his jacket on, and I stopped to say hello to him, and he turns around and goes, "Cold out here, isn't it?" Not wearing a fucking shirt. He had the jacket on, but no shirt.
That's special right there. That's like Randy Quaid in fucking Vacation.
No shirt guy. It was so annoying.
So Cousin Eddie was driving the bus. That's safe. I feel good about that. Feel very good about that.
Fucking no shirt guy.
So through the 80s, family problems continue, but they stay together. They stay around, the 4 kids and, 2 of them. And this is tough. This is the thing, too. No one's saying it's easy to raise 4 kids when 2 of them have issues as well. Yeah. That is hard.
I can't imagine.
I can't imagine how difficult that is. I can't imagine how difficult that would be on a marriage. Just on everything.
On somebody that's already fucking crazy.
And then someone who had problems when they had one kid and didn't even know that they had problems. I hate to just
keep saying crazy over and over again, blanketing that. No,
but
somebody that's got mental fucking issues.
Yes, exactly.
And now you're peppering in some children that need extra attention.
And also good for him. He sought out help.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? First of all, he realized he had a problem. He listened to his wife telling him he had a problem, and he went and he sought out help. So that's good. We're giving anybody out there, there's nothing to be ashamed of if you have a problem. No. We all have fucking problems.
Believe me.
But recognizing it and getting help if needed is kind of that's the line of between crazy, as we put in quotes, and we can deal with you, as a
functioning member.
Functioning,
It's okay to have problems. Don't think that you're alone, because you're fucking
acceptable
not.
to have problems. No, believe me, we're all a goddamn disaster.
Each week, it's a goddamn miracle that I'm sitting in front of this microphone.
It's the truth,
goddamn miracle.
Well, 1990 shit gets worse. If we're talking about stress, and I don't know what this would do on a marriage. 1990, youngest son Eric is 6 years old and dies in a bicycle accident.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
So I mean that right there.
And that was the youngest one.
That's the youngest. That's Eric. That's the youngest. That's his favorite. That's the one.
The one that didn't need extra help.
Exactly. So this here, even if everything else was glorious, they got along great. He was perfectly sane, felt good about himself. Other kids were thriving and great. This would still be difficult.
Fuck yeah.
So when you add in a guy who's already got some problems and stress and marital issues, I can't imagine what this does to it, to everything. He's placed on antidepressants at this point. He goes to counseling kind of constantly now. This just decimated his psyche.
Sure.
This whole thing
here.
Did
they say which antidepressants he was on?
No, they do not. They did not give an actual. This was 1990, so there wasn't a lot to choose from.
I can't even think of. I wouldn't know.
I don't even think Prozac was out yet. Like there is not a lot to choose from in 1990. This was.
I'm trying to think of anything that would have been.
If you were on antidepressant medication in 1990, that was considered like outside the box.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That was going
now
the
it's
extra
like
mile.
Everybody's on something.
Right.
Yeah, this was like this was considered like, ooh, he's on meds. Holy shit! Like, wow, he must have. Yeah, cuckoo.
He's got
this
some
one.
real shit going on.
That's the thing. Yeah, that's how it was perceived back then. Now it's just like if you say it's not embarrassing at all. If you say I'm on antidepressants,
it's like saying which
like, which one?
Right,
yeah,
which toothbrush brand do you use?
Like Colgate, AIM. What do you got there? Yeah, perfect. Crest. What are you using? What do
you that rich guy that uses that Mentadent, the fucking
the pump handle.
That stuff is horrible.
No,
you've got to push it
guy.
Evenly to get both sides to spray.
Otherwise,
you wind up with a toothbrush full of white or a toothbrush full of blue.
And you want none of that. You need both. You need both.
You need the fucking the baking soda.
Why don't we mix
shit?
those together? How about that?
Yeah. How about do that in the fucking factory?
There you go.
So this shit doesn't happen.
Give it to me already done. How's that? Don't make me assemble your shit product.
I've paid. This is over. My part's done.
I have to assemble your shit toothpaste now. Thanks, Dick. So at this point, Jolene's cousin Dave, and we're going to talk about her cousins and relatives a little bit later, he says about Rick and about this incident, quote, that seemed to be his favorite child. After that, he went downhill. Brutal, right? He just didn't cope with Eric's death very well.
Yeah.
He became obsessed with the preservation of Eric's memory. Became crazy about it, about his room, about his things, about everything. He became obsessed with preserving his sons, which is an understandable emotion.
Yeah.
But at some point, and I would hope with the counseling, they would be trying to push him through that. Like, hey, I know, yes, that's great. And you do need to save his things. And yes, that's fine if you want to laminate his baby socks, but you need to chill out at some point and relax,
Truly, because I mean that's what every serial killer, they always show, like mom's dead and they have the bedroom that's got 2 inches of dust on everything because they don't want to go in there and disturb anything.
Yeah.
Like you got to process and move on.
It's the truth.
That's the healthy way to. I mean, granted, I'm sure some people healthily deal with
they do
preserving memory more.
They do.
But
I'm sure there is, but you have to be way stable for that.
Historically,
more stable than most of us can claim to be.
The stigma of it is that if you're doing that, there's some shit going wrong.
It's the truth. Now, the neighbors at this point, relatives, all these people, they said they knew there was problems between Rick and Jolene, and the problems they would escalate. They said, though, they never heard them fighting or never heard them arguing or saw them fighting or anything like that. But they'd, quote, one of the neighbors said, quote, we'd see law enforcement show up at the house. That's a bad sign. I don't care what you're hearing. How many times the cops at your house,
quiet,
Jimmy? Not that many, right?
And now there's cops.
Yeah, there's quiet, but now I'm more worried. If I hear nothing and then cops pull up, I'm like, what the fuck happened over there? Somebody just, went into business and really was focused.
We never heard a sound, and then there's cops fucking everywhere.
Then there's police. 1991, he has an incident, Rick does, with his son Brian. Okay. Brian's 16 years old at this point, and apparently Rick beats him up with a paddle.
Okay.
Apparently assaults him pretty good enough to where he is arrested for it, for assault and everything. Like this wasn't like 2 spanks on the ass. He went after his kid with a paddle for some reason. Okay. We don't know why or what.
Okay.
He's got issues. He's got anger problems, and now he's depressed, and he's going a little fucking cuckoo crazy at this point about his son dying and all that.
Yeah.
Understandable. He's going off the deep end. This is in 1991. The school board asks Dr. Taylor he's a guy who works for the school board works for the school system to evaluate whether Rick should be reinstated as a bus driver. They're like, if he's attacking 16-year-olds with a paddle, maybe we don't put him around the children.
Right.
Which understandable. Just take a look at him.
The kid was
see what you
16
think.
at the time?
He was 16. He beat a 16-year-old kid with a paddle.
That's not disciplining. You're having a fight.
Yeah, that's a fight.
You just had a boxing match with your kid and you had a weapon.
You beat your developmentally disabled 16-year-old with a paddle. That's an issue. He even at this point they're trying to figure out what he's all about. He has a gun he's had for this whole time. He turns the gun in temporarily to the Norwalk Police Department to not have it in his possession, to just show that he's not, I'm not a nut who needs my gun. Like I'll give it to them. He gets it back, but that's for the time. Dr. Taylor, who they tasked with figuring him out, reported no evidence of any psychiatric disorder, and he recommended that Rick be reinstated as a bus driver. Go ahead. Twirl around in the snow with a shitload of kids in a bus. You're perfectly fine.
No evidence of psychiatric disorder.
None. He's fine. Guy's fine. Clearly he's fine, I would say. I would say even if he showed nothing, I would still think there was still some shit in there just based on all the stuff that's happening.
There's some underlying shit somewhere.
There's some stuff. And then it also, culminated in beating your kid with a paddle. So there's probably an issue. May 21st, 1991, he is placed on probation for a domestic assault abuse charge on Jolene. Yeah. There was a little incident with Jolene, like we said, the cop showing up. So now he's roughing her up a little bit. This wasn't like a full-on beating, but it was enough to
warrant the police.
He physically touched his wife, which you can't do like that. So it doesn't matter. He's going to fucking jail for it. So he gets probation for that. By 1992, Jolene's had enough. Early 92, she's had it. She obtains a restraining order from him, and she legally separates and files for divorce against him. So she's said that's enough now. It's been a long time. It's been almost 20 years, and all the kids and everything that's happened. Mm-hmm. This happens a lot, and in families of tragedy, when they have a young child die or something, they end in divorce a lot. It really do.
Yeah, that puts a lot of fucking. It's a burden to deal with in the first place. By yourself, alone.
Yeah, absolutely.
And now you've got to process your grief along with somebody that you're married to, and they process it differently. And then there's clashes on, well, you don't feel bad about this, and then there's arguments.
Not to mention also, who knows if somebody blames somebody, you didn't tell them to come inside in time. Yeah. Not only that, but also even if it was just completely random, if just something happened, if the stone school bus driver flipped it over 12 times and your kid died and it has nobody's fault. Right. You still are with that person that's what you had together, and that's your reminder, and you have to stare at this person every day. I could see that could be possibly difficult for people. So anyway, they're separated. The kids here, Brian, Nikki, Jessica, not Eric, obviously, reside with Jolene. Mm-hmm. They stay in Norwalk in the family home with her. Rick is not wanting this divorce at all. Okay. He's resisting at every single step he can. He does not want it. He's saying no. He's telling everyone he can tell, I'm not letting this happen. We're not getting divorced. Jolene doesn't know what the hell she wants. Sure. This is ridiculous here. He threatens the family's safety multiple times, and we'll get into that. He tells her first attorney, she has an attorney for the first time in this divorce proceeding. Rick tells this attorney that the divorce, quote, would not happen, and that he would do whatever he could to stop it from happening. Oh boy! So he's saying this. I don't give a shit if what she hired you for, paperwork. This shit isn't happening. Yeah. it extends so much to where you can legitimately call it stalking.
Jesus.
Is what he's doing, because this is nuts. A couple of things he does here. Neighbors, relatives, everybody says that he's relentless in following them.
Mm-hmm.
He follows the kids. He follows Jolene. He monitors their actions. He's always around. If they go to the store, they'll look. There he is in the parking lot in his car.
Checking all the boxes.
Stalking.
First ballot Hall of Fame. Stalker.
He is a A1 stalker. He would be a great private investigator.
Yeah.
Like, he should stop what he's doing.
Yeah.
Stop stalking.
Right.
Quit your job driving the bus.
That's
get
essentially
your PI
what that
license.
person is.
He's a PI. That's what PIs do.
Yeah.
It'd be great if only these people didn't legally file to have him stay away from them. It'd be fantastic,
right.
except for that part. And no one hired him to do this. He's just crazy.
Right.
Apparently, the neighbors said numerous times a day, not just once or twice, just many, many times. Like, if you look out the window, you got about a 50-50 chance that you're going to see Rick drive by and be driving by the house,
terrible.
or sitting outside the house just stare. He's just sitting out by the curb in his car staring. That's not even the worst of it. In a second here, I'll tell you. Rick tells one of his wife's sisters and around now that if he told her if he can't have the family, no one else can have them.
Oh, Christ.
So he's getting into this now. September of 1992, the police apprehend Rick.
Yeah.
He is prowling around Jolene's home.
Right.
So at least they take him in.
Yeah.
Wow. What they end up establishing is he's been stalking her since the moment she kicked him out and got the restraining order, and this goes on indefinitely. Okay. Like, he just never stops stalking. His stalking gets worse, and they don't do a fucking thing about it. So there wasn't any stalking laws back then, too.
When did those happen? When did those start?
I want to say it's the late 90s, early 2000s. There was a push for it back then because I want to say it was one of the celebrity deaths. Somebody killed a celebrity in the late 90s or something. Was it Selena, maybe, with the fan?
I could see
or
that.
some shit like that. There was some, not the shit like Selena, I'm just saying.
Or the
some
Versace guy.
Somebody, there was something with that. I know it was celebrity driven, even though it should be driven by shit like this.
Versace, right?
It was
that was the guy's name that died in Miami?
Yeah, he got killed by the Andrew, whatever his name.
That guy was fucked up.
Yeah, he was crazy, that guy. Yeah, that was, speaking of crazy.
That was ridiculous.
That dude, we don't even have to preface it with, if you have psychological, he's crazy. Just
Andrew, Versace murderer was...
Cunanan, some shit like that.
Yeah.
Whatever. Doesn't matter.
Whatever. He's dead.
So he's dead, and Rick is apprehended by the police for prowling.
Okay.
Which is fucking terrible right away. When you never want to be taken in as a prowler. No. I feel like that's an inkling, not an inkling. That's just an inch from having your pants down. I feel like prowling. Like, if someone says you're a prowler, I assume you were jerking it, even if you didn't have it out. You were slow tugging, as you like to say,
you were
under
thinking
your
about
pants.
it, rubbing on top of them.
Something.
At minimum, rubbing the seam of the jeans between the balls.
You were prepping up.
For sure.
You were getting yourself to a ready position. I feel like. You're getting yourself all set.
You were chubbing up, you fucker.
That's right. So in September 5th...
And cat burglar makes me think of somebody that steals, like, shitty things.
Little things with bells in them that smell like oregano. That's all they're
cat
stealing.
Burglar and prowler are like the most old-timey shitty words.
He's a prowler. See?
Right.
He's jerking it. Look at him, man.
But a prowler eventually
pot.
becomes a cat burglar when he stops jerking off.
That's true. He's like, well, I see all that shit inside while I'm jerking it. I might as well go get some of it while I'm here. So this is September 5th of 92. He's charged with violating an order to stay away.
Okay.
Rick is, which I would say, especially if he had his dick out like we have said now, he's definitely should
at minimum
away.
Rubbing that thick seam in the jeans.
You know what? That's the same thing. If you're doing it
if you're may as well be just jerking.
Tell you what, if you're doing it on your couch, it's not. It's just scratching.
No,
it's just
that's
adjusting.
Called being a man.
It's just chilling out. If you're doing it while staring into someone's window who has a restraining order against you, I feel like that's got a sexual undertone to it. At that
absolutely,
that's
different. Is a problem.
That is not small town murder approved behavior right there. Please don't do that, folks. Do not do that. We beg of you. We beg of you. So December.
Unless she approves. Unless she asks you in the middle of making out, she says, now go outside.
Do me a favor. I like to be stared at through the window while somebody slow tugs on top of their seat.
I'm going to draw the blinds open. Now you stand out there.
No, I'm just going to be doing the dishes and shit like that. I just want to know what's happening behind me. It turns me on.
I'm going to be reading a book.
It's better for later.
Sipping some tea.
Normal shit.
I want you outside the window.
Bills I have to pay. I'm going to get on the line and do that.
I'm going to balance the checkbook.
Some stuff.
Maybe vacuum the living room. You tug to it.
Look over the kids' homework. There's things I have to do. So while I'm doing that, you stay outside. My God.
Oh, God damn it.
Rick is forced pretty much to go see a psychologist in December of 1992.
Yeah.
Which, thank shit.
Yeah.
If anybody needs it.
It's about time.
I want him to move in with a psychologist.
I want
just move into his house.
Have a roommate.
And I want them to just stare at him all the time and go, let's take a look at Rick.
Right.
He's been prowling. So this psychologist said that Forsyth here, Rick had been chronically depressed for at least a year. Mm-hmm. It's when his wife left him. He's saying that's the year. And he's saying it probably extends all the way back to Eric. And then it probably extends all the way back to the 70s from there.
Birth of problem child. That'll do it.
Yeah, this particular run of depression, though, is based in a year from there, he's saying. And he keeps being depressed. January of 93, Rick calls Jolene's sister-in-law, Diana Reinhardt. He's calling her on a daily basis. Okay. Just constantly she doesn't have a restraining order against him, so he's calling her. I don't know why she wouldn't. He's just talking about Jolene, the kids, the divorce. Imagine having that guy.
Oh, Jesus.
And he's sad and he's upset and he's depressed and he went to counseling, and why doesn't she like me, and is she seeing anybody, and what are the kids up to, and is everything okay?
The only time that conversation is warranted is when somebody calls you and says, how are things going? I've got a lot on my fucking plate. If you want to hear, I'll unload. But if you don't open that can of worms.
Nope, this guy's calling her daily with this, and sometimes more than once a day. It's up. It's Rick again. Jesus Christ. And 93, this is beginning of caller ID, and I don't know if it was available in Iowa.
Jesus.
So she might have had to just pick this phone up blind and then be like, Jesus Christ.
Please be a telemarketer.
She's expecting a call. I'm expecting my mother to call. Oh, God damn it. Jesus. It's me again. Fuck. Put it away. Stop. No, you're on top of the seam. I know it. I can hear it. I can hear it. So this poor lady's dealing with that. February of 93, Jolene's sister-in-law, Cindy Reinhardt, she overhears a phone conversation that Rick has with his daughter, Nikki. Okay. Now, Nikki is the mentally disabled daughter.
So Jessica is the one.
Jessica's, Nikki's the second child born non-disabled. At this point, the only non-disabled one left.
In the house, right?
In the house or wherever they are. She has a conversation with Rick over the phone. Cindy Reinhardt overhears it, and during this conversation, Rick tells Nikki that it would never be over, and if the family tried running, he would, quote, kill them all.
Holy fuck.
So that's now it's not just like, I'm not going to let this divorce happen. I'm going to try hard, and I'm going to go to counseling, and it's not going to go through. It's not that anymore. No. It's not standing outside. That's, if you try to run, I'll kill all of you. That's a threat of multiple lives.
Yeah.
March 93, the next month, Jolene's brother, John, she has a huge family. They're very involved, these people.
No doubt.
John overhears Rick tell Jolene when they're arguing, quote, you are bringing this all on yourself. If you don't quit, I will kill you and the others.
Fuck.
Which... this is a threat right to her now, overheard, and he's saying it in the presence of others.
Everybody.
That's the thing. Like that, her brother's there. You don't threaten people's lives in front of their brother. How did the brother not go over and go, well, what the fuck are you talking about?
Right.
You know?
Hey, dude, chill out on the fucking murder talk.
How about I punch you in the ear? What's wrong? Fucking kill my sister and her kids.
I'm going to beat you to death with a fucking ear of corn if you keep this shit up.
If I had a sister, I would not be okay with this. There would be an issue. There'd be cops being called for other purposes that day.
No
You just
doubt.
threatened my sister's life, asshole? You nuts? So... also this month, Rick tells a former teacher of Jessica's now, a teacher that he knows from town.
Yeah.
But this is someone who worked with his daughter at school. Like, this isn't someone you kind of tell intricate whatever. He tells her that Rick tells her that he would kill Jolene and the children before he would allow a divorce.
Really opening up.
Now he's not telling. Now he's just running into the daughter's old teacher down at the Walgreens, and he's like, "Hey, did I tell you I'm going to kill everybody? If they just want to let you know that divorce isn't happening."
Remember my daughter got a C in your class? Oh, don't worry, she's going to be fucking dead soon.
Don't worry, I'm going to kill her and everyone around her. They're like, "Whoa, I don't know anything about this here."
Have you ever talked to outside of parent-teacher conferences? I took my daughter to school the other day, dropped her off in her class, and it was the second time I've met her teacher.
I was going to say, parent-teacher no, I don't never talk to him socially.
No.
Not at all. Actually this was weird as shit. I was at Stand Up Live doing a comedy show, and my son's teacher was at the show.
Oh, Jesus.
And she came up to me afterwards, and she's
to give
like,
you shit about what
"Hi."
you said about your son.
No, she thought it was great. She thought it was great, actually. She was like, "It's really clever." But she was like, "Hi," and I had 5 seconds of blank because that's not where she. That's
fuck do you want, lady?
I don't know who she was.
Yeah,
I didn't recognize her, and then I was like,
and then you're like, "Oh shit, books.
You're way out of context.
Books behind your head make so much more sense.
You do not belong here." And it was
that brick
freaky.
wall behind you is really fucking me up.
This is super weird. Yeah, it took me like 5 seconds to register who she was, and then I was like, "Oh my, yeah, okay, I know who you are."
I would never recognize my daughter's teacher outside of anywhere.
Especially she was like dressed to go out. She wasn't dressed like just going to school to teach kids that day. She had like makeup on and shit. It was like, that's Lord.
Yeah, that's bizarre.
It was creepy.
I can't even
wanted
imagine.
her to leave. I couldn't talk to her. I was like,
I can't look at your face.
I literally was like, "Nice to see you." And then I talked to the next person behind her coming out of the showroom. So Rick also at this point is no longer driving the bus.
Okay.
Probably because he has a restraining order and can't be around his kids.
Can't be around his own kids.
Who knows? So he begins working as a custodian at Drake University.
Oh, God. You mean janitor?
A janitor.
Oh, boy.
So what he's doing is going around mopping and just plotting and just seething. I'm sure.
He's that guy.
You know he is.
He's dragging that fucking giant gray trash can.
1,000-yard stare into nothing, and the kids are like, "That dude's going to snap, bro." You know there's kids hacky sacking all around him like, "That dude's going to snap, bro. I bet I can get him to snap." And they like throw some garbage on the ground. Watch. I bet he'll snap,
and
man.
he just walks right over it.
He just doesn't even acknowledge it.
Fuck you.
Just never looks at anything. Just sweeps things up into that little push broom with the handle.
Yeah.
It's just been one of
that
those.
Folds up when you pick it up.
He's just like, The kids are like, "Dude, he's going to snap." They take bets on how long it's going to be.
Hilarious.
So April 1993, April 27th to be exact, he is charged with harassing Jolene.
Fuck.
This is in addition to the divorce proceedings, the whole deal. They talk to a neighbor at this point, and they're like, "What's going on about this?" There's a neighbor says, quote, "We weren't real nosy neighbors, but we did wonder how they were doing."
Yeah.
They're like, "I don't know what's going on over here." He's always outside.
What did Jolene do for work?
I'm not sure what she did for work exactly,
She
Jolene.
had to be just fucking doing great because
she had to be focusing.
He's not making any goddamn money.
No, I don't know what you make as a custodian, and also
less than a bus driver, I imagine.
Early 90s Iowa was probably pretty inexpensive, which helps, but maybe he's making more than a bus driver.
I don't know.
I'm not sure. I mean, one, you just have you're only responsible for the lives of the whole town's children.
Yeah.
The other one, you have a mop, Jimmy. You're responsible for the Pine Sol.
And
you have a lot of things you really need to keep track of.
You think they're using Pine Sol in a fucking college? No way. They're bleaching everything.
They give him a key to that little closet with all the supplies. Think about that.
You never know what he could make in there.
There's tens of dollars worth of supplies in there he could have. I mean, you got to trust a guy. You know what I mean? So he's doing this here. Rhonda Ostrander, who's a neighbor, she said she would see Rick visiting the youngest daughter and all that sort of thing. And when he's not supposed to, he'd come and visit Jessica. And she said, quote, "They would park down the street from the house." He wasn't supposed to go near the house.
Yeah.
So he'd like pick her up and go park down the street and talk to her. It's so creepy, man. May 1993, he completes the Minnesota Multiphasic Personality Inventory Test.
What?
In May 1993. Apparently that's...
yeah. I'm on board.
It's a psychological evaluation in connection with the divorce and the custody proceedings. Like, let's see how sane he is, if he can even see these fucking kids legally.
Let's see how many personalities you have.
Yeah, let's look into this, pal. So May 6, 93, he's found in contempt of court because they found him entering the wife's property here, Jolene's property, on 2 different occasions, which was violating the restraining order. He's ordered to serve 14 days in jail.
Shit.
By August 1st. This is May, so he has till August 1st to report.
Yeah.
But he's got to serve 14 days in jail. he's freaking out over the jail time, apparently, going nuts over it, really freaking out, which, I mean, he'd probably be out in 8 days or something.
Yeah, but
still,
that's
he doesn't want to go to jail.
a lot of fucking time.
I understand that, and he's not the type of guy who I feel like is going to do well in that environment.
You think 8 days, that doesn't sound like a lot, but then you start taking the time out of that that equals like 7 days. That's a full week.
It's a big deal. So he's not okay with it. His landlord said he's super depressed, and he told his landlord that he didn't think he could handle going to jail, and he wasn't going to be able to do it. So it's a problem, but not a problem enough for him to stop doing the shit he's doing.
Really?
Nope. He also at this point is charged with harassment for making numerous, uncountable, numerous hang-up phone calls to Jolene.
Pete.
So he just keeps doing that. So he's got a trial for that charge scheduled for June 28th, 93. Okay. So he's got a lot of shit going up. He's got jail. He's got trials. Divorce proceedings are to be held in the dissolution trial is to be held in July of 93.
He's got a ton of court dates for such minimal shit.
3 months straight of court dates and then jail. So this is going to be a bad summer here. He's going to be wishing he was shucking corn with the kids.
Right in the time of the best fucking parades, too.
Oh, God, he's going to miss out on so much candy and free corn.
So many water balloon fights. He's missing on all of it.
So many lightning bugs being hit with wiffle bats and aluminum bats. It's not even funny. He could be having so much fun pretending he's an alien.
There are so many fucking... Yeah, so many lightning bugs there.
Early June 1993. Okay. It's getting pressing here. All of his things just pushing down on him. Diana Reinhardt, who we discussed before, said that now he's calling her more frequently. Okay. Now more than twice a day. Now it's every 10 minutes, and he's always very upset.
That's too much.
He's always upset. He's crying. He's angry. He's mad. He's yelling. What's going to happen?
Is she calling the police at all? Calling for help of anything?
He's not threatening her. He's not threatening anybody. He's just saying how upset he is all the time. And
so is she like trying to manage this for him?
She's trying to manage him, I feel like if I can calm him down, then he'll leave Jolene a little bit alone. And I feel this isn't the way to do it, but she's just trying. Think of this. She's in her goddamn kitchen. Her kids are running around. It's back then. She's got a long cord on the phone. She's like, I know.
Making spaghetti.
I don't know what Jolene. Yes, I know. It's very sad. I'm sorry. Will you, Johnny, put that down. Stop pulling your sister's hair. Yes, I know. It's very sad. I understand. Like this poor woman.
I got to go. The kids just spilled. No, don't let go. Don't hang up. I'll just wait.
Yeah, I'll just wait. Here, I got a seam tub. It's all right. I'll rub my seam. So Diana characterizes Rick as obsessed. Yeah. And he's really upset and over the moon distraught by the fact that Jolene has made a male friend.
Oh, boy.
A guy named Mark that she is now dating. Yeah. And this is, I mean, can you imagine this guy, everything. He's trying to keep everything under control. He's stalking, and now this happens.
In breakups, though, this happens every time. Somebody's going to get into a relationship first.
It happens.
When you break up with somebody, you should be in a rush to get over it and fucking learn whatever lesson you're going to learn from this, to be the person that drives the other person mad by getting somebody much hotter than them.
Yeah, sure.
Like, that should be the way that everybody should approach.
That's healthy.
Right.
That seems healthy. Yeah,
be in a rush to fucking be not in a rush to get into a relationship.
Get over it, though. You got to try to get over it.
Compartmentalize all that anger and hatred.
Well, for her, it's been Christ Almighty.
That's my point. She figured it out. She's like, fuck it, I'm going to heal and be done with this.
It's been a year and a half. She's just looking to have a life at this point.
Let's go.
While she's looking, while she is trying to have a life, he's not letting her, though, Rick. Her cousin, Tony Celsi, said, I think that's how you pronounce that, Tony Celsi. She said, quote, he would just see what they were doing. He would stand on benches in the back of the house, looking in the window and watching them. She would call the police, and all they would say is they couldn't do anything because he hasn't broken the law. This is what I mean. These fucking and it's not their fault because they can't do anything. I mean, you know what, though? There should be somebody that could go over there and go, if I fucking catch you in this yard again, I'm going to crack you with this goddamn nightstick in the side of your fucking head. Get the fuck out of here, asshole.
But if the cousin or the brother-in-law says that to him, then they go to jail for making a threat. It's fucking stupid.
This is like there should be one head-cracking squad guy who's just like, my job, I got to go. If there's a guy standing on a fucking bench looking at his ex-wife again, I'll be back in 10 minutes. He's just got to go over. He brushes off his stick. I got to go knock this guy upside the head.
Knuckles,
cut it out. Crack. Oh, shit, sorry. So this is they need some stalking laws here. This is rough. June 12th, 1993, my birthday. Hey, I remember watching the Suns lose to the Bulls that day. So,
this whole time you're saying 92 and 93, I keep thinking, the Bulls are making a run right now.
Yeah, they are. I remember watching this and being very angry at John Paxson for hitting that fucking shot. Anyway, At this moment here, there's two little girls that are Mark, her boyfriend.
Yeah.
Mark Napodano is his name. Mm-hmm. He's got two little girls, Martina, who's 9 years old, and Helen, who's 7 years old.
Okay.
Those are his kids, and he's trying to kind of introduce his kids to her family, and they're trying to kind of figure out what they're doing
blend
here.
This shit.
Yeah, these girls are on. They're on vacation. They go to Gary Elementary School in West Chicago, and they're visiting their father here, who lives in Des Moines. Mark manages a power tool service center in Des Moines.
He's killing it.
He's killing it. That's what I mean. So that's doing well. That's doing well. He's managing. I'm the manager of the whole power tool service center. If you need a drill fixed, I'm your fucking guy.
I'm your man.
I can do it. So
your fucking key broke to get the bits in and out.
Come on,
I got him.
I got you
by the fistful.
I'll give you one.
It's all yours.
Here you go. It's in my pocket.
And guess what? On the other side, I'll get you an ear of corn for free.
No problem.
The bonus.
Everything. It doesn't. Every purchase comes with corn, Jimmy. That's how it works there. That's what they do. It's
buy your healthy, get a fucking ear of corn.
It's like in Family Guy when you go to Texas and every purchase comes with a gun. State law. He's like, why are we giving me a gun? He's like, every bottle of liquor comes with a gun. State law. All right, I guess I'll take it. That's what goes on here. Comes with an ear of corn. I'm sorry. North Carolina, it's a pack of cigarettes.
Yes.
Here you go. It's a pack of Marlboro Reds. I'm sorry. You have to have them. Smoke up, Johnny. So... Mark is also recently divorced. His divorce had just been finalized in May. He divorced his wife Paige in May, and this was up in Minnesota. He came to Des Moines, and the girls moved with their mother from Winfield, to Winfield. I'm sorry, from Minnesota.
Okay.
So they went to school that year. The girls sing in the choir at the church, the Bethany Lutheran Church of Batavia.
Jesus.
They sing in the choir.
Oh, God.
Nice girls. Mark's dating Jolene. Seems like a good thing.
Oh, boy.
Rick is still going nuts. Rick tells a neighbor about this because he's talking to a neighbor about this whole thing. He'll talk to anyone that comes around. So he talked to a neighbor, and he's like, she's with this guy. And the neighbor's like, well, maybe it's okay. And he says, quote, she doesn't know what she wants, but she is an unfit mother. That I do know. So she's just like, I don't know what she wants, but she's shit mother. She's a shit mother with these goddamn kids. The neighbor who had this conversation actually said that Jolene was an excellent mother, and that part was very inaccurate. She's very caring of her kids, the whole deal. So on Sunday...
And then there was an argument.
Yeah, exactly. On Sunday, June 13th, 1990... Yeah, you think he'd be like, oh, okay, yeah. She'd be like, yeah, no, totally terrible. Yeah, I see all the time. Kids are running down the street naked. Yeah, that's what happens. Dirty, naked, and malnourished.
No, she's a pretty good mom. Well, let's fucking talk about what I know that you don't know, and then there's a big fucking argument.
You're right. I saw them cleaning up roadkill for dinner. Exactly. She said, bring them home, and I brought it home, and it was
horrible.
It was raccoon. It's okay. So Sunday night, June the 13th, Mark goes out of town. He has the kids for the weekend, but he has an early morning appointment in another town in Des Moines. So he goes to stay in Des Moines just to be there because it's 6:30 in the morning or something. So he's going to go there, which still doesn't make sense. Your kids are here, but he goes anyway. He leaves the house.
He leaves the kids with her.
Leaves the kids with her,
with the girl he's
and
dating.
her kids. Yeah, on a Sunday night, in the summer.
With his unfit mother.
With the unfit mother. It's a summertime. I mean, I'm sure they were looking at the cornfields and playing baseball out there, waiting for ghosts to come out of the field.
Any day now, we can harvest that.
We can do it any day. Kids, get your shucking gloves on. So let's do it here. So he's doing that. The kids are with Jolene. So that seems fine.
Yeah.
Everything seems fine, except for the next morning when nobody can get a hold of Jolene. And she misses an appointment. And they're like, where's Jolene? What's going on? What's happening? So they go over to try to figure out where the hell Jolene is, and if maybe the phone's broken, because who knows? I mean, maybe cut a line. Somebody was plowing or something. They cut the line out there. I don't know how it works. So 12:30 p.m., so we're at noon, a little after noon on Monday, June the 14th.
Yeah.
Jolene's brother, Kevin Reinhard. A lot of Reinhards in the story.
Yeah, no doubt.
Reinhard comes over. He goes to their home with his neighbor, a guy named Wyman is his last name, and one of Wyman's sons also is with him.
And a boombox blaring the song Jolene, because that's how you get her. That's how you get her
attention, because then she breaks out a window and throws things at you. She says, stop it. I hate Dolly Parton. She fucked my husband. I mean that song. Sorry. They climb into a window. Kevin climbs into a window with this Wyman's son behind him. Kevin gets halfway in the window and then stops and pushes the son back out and says, quote, you don't want to come in here. Go call 911.
Oh, shit.
There's problems, obviously, here. There's a reason why no one has been answering and that sort of thing. They go through the house.
Yeah.
They go upstairs to Jolene's bedroom, to the master bedroom.
The police did.
The police do. Yeah, they call 911. They don't go in and investigate any further. Kevin Reinhardt. Police go in. They find Jolene.
Yeah.
Brian, Nikki, and Jessica side by side in the master bed, in the bedroom, in the bed in the master bedroom, side by side, all covered in a blanket.
Jesus.
Together, all dead.
Yeah.
All dead. Jolene and Brian had been shot to death.
Jesus.
Nikki had been strangled.
Oh, fuck, man.
And Jessica had been suffocated.
What the fuck?
Suffocated.
Could take so much time.
Why would you do that? Why? Why?
Jesus.
There's no fucking... I don't understand the instinct to want to kill everybody anyway.
Right.
But once you're doing it, why wouldn't... And especially they're your kids who you've... I don't understand.
So Jessica was the developmentally disabled one.
Jessica was
Nikki
one.
was the one that was fine. And
She was fine.
He strangled her. So personal.
Each child was killed in a different manner.
Yeah.
Shot, strangled, suffocated.
Oh, fuck.
That is
And how
horrible.
do you suffer? Like with a pillow, you think? Or what do you think he did? Or just his hand?
It's
fucking
not said in
saran
the
wrap
thing.
around
It's
her
not
head?
said, but that's
Why
her.
do I know
don't even
so
know.
many ways of
there's a lot of ways to
suffocating
suffocate. Shit, you could. It's a lot. You've tried this many times. But I mean, to strangle one, to suffocate another, and then
so much,
and then bring them all in there to stage them on the bed like that and cover them up like some sort of weird.
Where are the other girls at?
So let's talk about this here. They do. All the evidence suggests, by the way, that they were killed in other rooms, obviously, and placed in the bed. They weren't all sleeping in bed together. Also found the girls, the Napadano girls, were found in a downstairs bedroom, shot to death.
Of course. He shot them.
He shot
so
two little
angrily.
girls. Because, 9 and 7, they're going to be a real... I'm sure they've caused him tons of problems, so he needed to kill them.
So horrible when he did it, too.
It's fucking horrific.
What a pile of shit.
What a complete pile of shit. They're side by side with a blanket over them, too. So
Can't look at him.
He's got a style. Yeah, that's what I mean. He knows what he did is fucking wrong. He knows what he did is wrong. He knows what he did is wrong so much that Rick is also found in the master bedroom with a gunshot wound to the head and to his wrist.
Oh, shit.
So Rick is still alive when they find him. He's been sitting there for,
several
12 hours, several hours.
Bleeding out
from the head and wrist. Wow. So he's alive.
By the way, he put two bullets in himself and couldn't do it.
And couldn't get it done. Couldn't finish it. He should have suffocated himself or maybe strangled himself. That seemed to work just fine.
Put a hand over your mouth and nose, you dickhole.
Yeah, do that. Yeah, there you go. Do that.
Unbelievable.
Jump in the bathtub. So this piece of shit here, they found 2 apparent suicide notes. One he rented a room somewhere. They found there, and one was in the actual home. They found. So he wrote 2 different ones. Handwriting experts said that they're his Rick's handwriting. The one found in his rented room there, his house, his apartment, repeatedly expressed his desire to stop all the pain and to save his family so they could all be together. He's this fucking idiot. The note he talks about his son Eric's death a lot, and he wishes to, quote, save us all after Eric's death so there would be no more pain.
Oh my God.
And then there's apologies in there. He says, at one point, I'm sorry, but I have to have my family. That's what he says. I'm sorry, but I'm so selfish. Right. I'm going to kill everyone so we can have this fantasy
Nobody
together.
has that family now.
No.
That's 6 fucking bodies.
That's insane.
That's so much.
It's
so much pain.
Too much, we'll say.
Jesus.
To be exact.
I would venture to say that.
So they found the second note at the scene in the original house, Jolene's house. This one also references Eric. Also 4 different references to now how their family can be together now. Also an apology, a request for God to forgive him for the deaths of the 2 little girls.
I'm sure,
not for his family.
I'm sure he'll be right up for that.
Yeah, he's like, obviously I did a good thing by killing my whole family. Now we're all together. That's not even on the table.
We're banging on the pearly gates. Obviously,
I'm slow tugging outside the pearly gates now. That's not an issue.
I'm rubbing on my seam, begging St. Pete to open this door.
That's not an issue at all. That's fine. But the little girls, they could see how someone would frown upon that. Apparently,
I can see how you could take umbrage with that. So let me explain.
Yeah. At the bottom of the note, there was a list of people and phone numbers who apparently that he thought should be contacted when all of these people were found. No, call my aunt, call this one, call that one.
Yeah.
So people obviously freaked out.
Don't worry,
about
I got
this.
a feeling they're going to hear about it.
They're going to hear it. Yeah. People obviously fairly freaked out about this. Jolene's cousin, the Tony Celsey, who had talked about him earlier, said, quote, he had mentioned to our family that he'd kill them all.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
And everybody else in town.
We never really thought he'd go through with it. Right. It's the worst tragedy of all, to go in there and shoot everybody. What are the Norwalk police going to do now? Because she said that she was the one who said they won't do anything. Yeah. What are they going to do now? Now that they're all dead, now can you fucking do something about it? The neighbor named Donna Jones, Jesus Christ, she wasn't surprised at all. She said she saw the police cars coming down the street and said, quote, what happened? Did that lunatic down the street kill his family? I don't think anybody's shocked. She's that lady. I don't think anybody's that shocked. We all expected it. I don't know why I gave her that accent, but she's in Iowa. But I feel like still. Woman. We all expected it. Let me tell you something, sweetheart. Would come. A friend of Brian here said, quote, I saw this coming big time. I worked with Brian at an elementary school. He was a special education student, and he worked with me as a learning experience. His dad was constantly driving by, I guess, checking up on Brian. So he's just completely crazy here. Rick survives. Yeah. He survives. He's in the hospital.
They cleaned him up, addressed his wounds, and he's fine.
He's recovering.
Wow.
What he is, though, is he's claiming he has amnesia. The shot to the head, I don't remember a fucking thing. So how could I possibly help in my defense, making me not competent to stand trial? That's what he's trying to pull here. If I don't remember it, how could I possibly talk about it? So several doctors talk to him, as you might imagine.
Sure.
Several people say, let me take a crack and see what's going on here. Dr. William Robert McMorty, who's a clinical neuropsychologist, which was my old job right before this. I was a clinical neuropsychologist. You know what? It's a little much.
That guy's doing
too much.
Great.
He's doing well for himself. He interviewed him 4 times over the next month while he's in the hospital. Spent 7.5 hours with Rick.
Oh, what a nightmare.
This poor bastard, yeah. He said that in his professional opinion, Rick was competent to stand trial and that his evaluation does not support an insanity defense at all. So that's one psychological person says he's fine.
7.5 hours with that man, earning every fucking dime he makes.
You are.
What a horrible thing that would
I hope
be.
he's not getting paid by the state. He's not making dick. Another one, Dr. Lauren Olson, who's a psychiatrist, saw Rick on about 10 occasions in the hospital following the murders here. He said, in his opinion, that Rick understood the gravity of the situation, the legalities of it. He also stated that if he's an amnesiac, it's impossible to determine whether he understood the nature of his actions or mental capacity or nature of his actions when he was doing it.
Sure.
So it would be hard to know if he had the mental capacity to know the difference. So he's basically a maybe.
Yeah.
He didn't really have a strong opinion. I don't fucking know, man. Another one, Dr. Mark Souza, and this guy will come up a few times. He says that Rick, he is aware of his legal circumstances. He knows of no impairments in his ability to communicate with his counsel other than amnesia that he says he has. He said all he can look at is what he's looking at in front of him. And he says, I don't know about the mental capacity of when he did the crime.
Sure.
So right now he seems fine to me, basically, other than not remembering shit. Another one, Dr. William Logan, who's a forensic psychiatrist. He interviews Rick for 6 hours. Another one, poor bastard. Jesus. He had tons of documents from all of his history and everything like that. His opinion is that Rick is not competent to stand trial.
Really?
Yeah. He said that he suffered from a major depressive disorder complicated by psychotic features, and at the time of the murders, that this mental disease prevented him from being able to tell the difference between right and wrong or to appreciate the nature and quality of his conduct.
Wow. Who paid
Holy
him?
Shit. That's really fucking depressive right there. They had to go through till they found one asshole who said it. One guy was like, he's fine. The other two were like, I think he's fine, but I don't know. And this guy's like, holy shit, he's this poor man.
But if you're looking at the stats, that's a fucking draw right down the middle.
Yeah,
you know
it's a draw.
That's 1-1 for sure.
Exactly.
And then the other two are, I don't know.
Well, they have a hearing on it. That's what they do here. They have a hearing because he files an application for a hearing to determine his competency, obviously. He argued that the amnesia was from a gunshot wound. He's unable to appreciate the charges, understand the proceedings, effectively assist in his defense, all of this shit.
I hate that usage of the word appreciate. So
it's so silly. Yeah.
After Weinstein used it,
let's just say understand.
Right. I'm saying I appreciate my actions as I have learned from them. Don't say I appreciate.
No,
you appreciate that you fucking
understand
almost raped women, you asshole. You did. You forcibly gave oral sex.
Say appreciate when somebody does something nice for you. Say understand when you fucked up. Nice, appreciate. You fuck up, understand. That's how shit works.
That's how it works.
Jesus Christ.
I hate that usage of it.
Now, the court says the amnesia surrounding these events does not automatically render him incompetent to stand trial. The test of the competency to stand trial is whether he appreciates the charges and can effectively assist in his defense.
Okay.
Which, I would say. The Dr. Souza, who we talked to, he testifies in this hearing, saying that he performed the whole evaluation.
Yeah.
And he says that Rick is aware of his circumstances and able to comprehend. Also, they have an officer, Hosey, who testifies. He was guarding Rick while he was hospitalized.
Yeah.
He says that he heard Rick on the phone have a conversation with his father.
Uh-oh.
And Rick explained to his father that he understood that the state was attempting to make a case against him for killing his wife and children.
Yeah.
So he understands the charges, is what they're saying. In the ruling, he appreciates it. He appreciates it.
I appreciate that they're making this case.
I do too. Someone should goddamn appreciate it.
Yeah.
In the ruling, the district court finds that Rick is suffering from amnesia with respect to the events of June 13th, and the amnesia might be permanent. However, they conclude that he does understand the charges and is able to communicate with his counsel and assist in his defense, and he is competent and ordered to stand trial.
Fantastic.
Eat a dick, sir. There's a state shrink in this, as you can imagine, a state psychiatrist who... He probably has a different opinion. Dr. Michael Taylor, he says it's his opinion that he's not suffering. Rick isn't suffering from any mental disease or defect at the time of the murders or now. He's capable of all this shit. He's full of shit. Doesn't think he has amnesia either. Just basically think that he's completely full of shit.
I wish courtrooms went like that. That would be amazing.
Your Honor, I have...
doctors say that.
I went to medical school.
In my professional medical opinion, that man's full of shit.
8 years of residency, and in my professional opinion, you, sir, are full of shit. That's how I label you professionally. Prosecution, their case in the trial, they have a lot of case.
Yeah.
First of all, there's tons of record establishing that he's stalked people, that he stalked them, threatened them, told family he was going to kill them. He was found at the scene right by the 4 dead bodies with a gun in his hand and gunpowder residue on his hands. The gun that he had, the Norwalk police testified, was the same gun that he turned into them when he had that incident back in the year before when he turned his gun in for a minute. So there's that.
And it was noticeably the same gun that was used on the kids.
Noticeably, Norwalk. All 9 of the empty casings found in the house were fired from that gun, which
weapon.
Is his gun in his hand. With gunpowder residue all over himself. The notes that were found in the crime scene and at his house strongly implicate the defendant, I would say. I would say it's strong. Yeah. It's a strong implication. It's written by him. He says he has a desire to unify his family so they would be together forever with God in heaven. That's pretty specific right there. I don't think that's
and
not
begging
metaphor.
For forgiveness of the other two.
That's not metaphor.
No.
Yeah, and begging for forgiveness for killing children. That's the other thing, too, is the note at the home says that he has regrets for killing the 2 girls. Also, the placement of the kids, Jolene and the 3 kids in the bedroom, is very symbolic of his... We're getting all together. We're all going to be in the bed together with the blanket on us, and I'll be over here.
And then those other kids downstairs, way the fuck away.
Yeah, get them out of here. They were just down there.
Somebody else's fucking kids.
Left them where they were laying here. Now,
Jesus.
There's some controversy over Jolene's journal. She kept a journal that she kept basically records of every time he called, visited, followed them around. This was at her attorneys and her family told her to do this when she filed for the divorce and got the restraining order. Write it all down, document it. So there's all of this stuff, and Rick does not want this to be admissible. Obviously,
to be read in court.
They rule that it's not prejudicial to Rick. It's just it is what it is, and also a lot of it is redundant with what people say. Like it'll be like July 12th, he stalked me, and then her cousin will testify that on July 12th I saw him stalking her. So it's like it doesn't matter anyway. It's just backup. The defense, they have a case too. They're trying.
Really?
They don't just
They're
say
swinging for the fence
we don't
on
know.
this.
He says that the state failed to prove that he did anything, that he's the perpetrator even of the crimes.
Wow.
He argues the physical evidence shows that he couldn't have committed the murders. Couldn't have at all. He said that Kevin Reinhardt, the guy who discovered the bodies, or Mark, whose daughters are downstairs, or maybe another unnamed individual or them together committed the crimes.
Anybody but me.
OJ just said it's Colombian drug dealers. Right. I think she had an ex-boyfriend that was angry. That's what he just did here.
The Bojangles defense.
Yeah. He said he points to numerous... he's just pointing out to picky stuff about the evidence to try to challenge it. Rick's big thing and his lawyers is that there's no blood was found on Jessica's hair. Her head was found on a pillow which had a bunch of his blood on it, but not her blood, which, whatever. Rick says that the only way that could have happened is if her head went on the pillow after he shot himself. So he's saying someone shot me and then put her head on the pillow. Or it just splattered that way, and that's fucking life here. So that's a big sticking point that he's trying to say. That means I didn't kill the kids. There's an expert witness that says why that happened. He said that the possibility of absorption into the pillow and the streaming of blood into crevices away from Jessica's head, that's what he said. So it's, otherwise, who knows? It could have just happened there. Or they said it might just be that the crime scene photographer was just screwed up when he said he didn't see blood in the hair. It just could be one of those. So it's like there's a million different reasons why that could be. He also says, Rick says, he emphasizes the alleged presence outside of the upstairs bathroom of a blood type which didn't match any of the victims, Rick, Mark, or Kevin. None of these people it matches.
There's
someone
came over and bled somewhere.
Someone came over and bled.
That could have been at any time, though.
And it's not a lot of blood. It's a little tiny bit of blood.
Somebody picked their nose in the bathroom, and now they got a nosebleed.
Yeah, well, there was evidence that the blood sample here, that sample was very saturated and had the smell of urine. The jury said, who knows? It was too contaminated anyway. They said it might not have been able to match it to anybody.
Could have been a dog's blood.
Could have been anything.
Right. A dog with a bloody dick somewhere.
Rick also says there's no blood trail between the bed and the master bedroom and his jeans, which are on the floor. He's like, the absence of the blood trail here, that's evidence that someone else, the actual murderers, removed his jeans from him after he was shot in the head. And, it was found on the jeans.
This is the weirdest fucking thing. It's for somebody that let's fucking play devil's advocate and say somebody else did this, because for all the evidence, and he's talking about, he wrote these notes that they're all going to be dead and we're all going to go to heaven together. And all of a sudden he's got he's going to defend himself against this. That's crazy too. That's crazy. That's a nutty thing to do. He was so dedicated to being dead, and now that he's not dead, now he doesn't want to be a part of this at all.
Shit. Right. Yeah. What are you talking about? Yeah.
It's very much like he was rubbing the seam too hard. Got real, just like when you masturbate and then when it's done, reality comes rushing back.
Yeah, that's kind of where he's at.
After you murder your whole family and then you try to kill yourself and it doesn't happen.
And then you wake up in the hospital.
Yeah, and then you're like, oh my God, what have I done?
You wake up in the hospital with a police guard by your bed, and you're like, fuck.
Just like when you're done masturbating, you're like, what have I done? I did it again.
This is a little worse, I'm going to say. A little bit worse, yeah. It's still harder to clean up and worse. Let's just say that.
I just can't believe he's defending himself against this. Why not just be like, yeah, I did it. I need punishment. You're going to die one day. Yeah. You'll go back to him.
No,
if that was your plan and that's what you believe, then you're going to go back to him when you die in jail. Why not fucking give a shit?
Who cares? Or try again. I don't know.
Yeah. Why defend yourself? Just
kill yourself. This guy could try again.
You tried to kill yourself. Why don't you just go for the death penalty? And does Iowa have it? I don't know.
They're not going for it here if they do have it. But so he says that... He says that the reason why there's no blood trails, an expert says, is because there's also a huge pillow found in the bedroom that's soaked with blood that he probably put the bodies on and dragged them up there because it's a lot easier to do that. So that's the theory. Sense. Yeah, that's the theory there. He also, Rick here, he argues that there was a use of gloves and an attempt to clean up blood evidence that aren't consistent with him committing suicide or trying to commit suicide or wanting to commit suicide. It's like, why would I clean shit up if I was contemplating suicide? If I was going to kill myself, why wouldn't I just leave it everywhere?
Maybe you weren't
and write a note.
Maybe you weren't contemplating when you first started all this shit.
Well, he left a note at his house. That was a suicide note too. But still, they're saying, why would I clean this up? And they say, the state's answer is, well, the record reveals that you have a low-functioning IQ. That's what they said. And you're clearly unstable, and your efforts to conceal some shit are probably they're not inconsistent with your otherwise irrational behavior. That's what it says in the court documents. I love that so much.
Let's not try to make
sir,
heads or tails of this. You're clearly off your rocker.
Well, sir, you're a moron.
Right.
In addition to being a little crazy, you're also a moron. So I just wanted to let you know that. You're actually an idiot, just so you know. Technically, medically, you're an idiot. So I just wanted you to know that.
That's awesome.
He tries to make a big deal out of the fact that Martina Napadano, Mark's daughter, was wearing some of her her father's, a big T-shirt of her dad's and something of her mom's. But so he says, well, that's obviously Mark came over and killed him and put his clothes on him. Right. And it's no. They also said that sometimes kids, when they go stay somewhere, will want to bring their dad's T-shirt to wear at night or some shit like that.
My daughter does that when she stays with me.
That's what I mean. My daughter all the time
she loves to put my shirts on,
big T-shirts or a hoodie or some shit like that. So
she loves it.
Yeah, exactly.
She's fucking 7. She doesn't. We don't even wear the same size, and she still tries.
That doesn't matter.
Right.
Yeah, my daughter's, I think.
It's close to the same size.
Yeah, for you. Yeah, it's probably more than you.
Your daughter definitely wears my size.
She's taller than you. Yeah, actually. No. So
I might want to wear her big shirts.
Probably. Yeah, she's definitely taller. So also they're saying Rick's trying to establish evidence that there was a bitter divorce between Mark and his wife, and that's what it was, and he was pissed off, and That's what he's saying.
Yeah,
so
no
sense. One's buying this shit basically here. Also, too, he tries to challenge what Kevin Reinhardt saw when he first came in the house because he had a conflicting statement about seeing something and seeing something else, which it doesn't really matter because I think in that state it's a little, you see your sister and all of her kids dead. You might go, holy shit!
I want the fuck out of here.
You might have your facts a little off. But they also said that he also posits the theory here. Mr. Rick here says that, well, what probably happened is Kevin came in, was trying to kill everybody, obviously, and then I tried to stop him, and during the struggle, he shot me
twice.
Well, once in the wrist while we were struggling, and then he got the gun and he shot me in the head.
Okay.
Then he killed everybody, staged it, and left. That's probably what happened.
Okay.
And there's no physical evidence whatsoever to support that. So 1994 in April, there is a verdict. He is found guilty of 6 counts of first-degree murder.
Shit.
Wow. Right before sentencing, they do a motion. They file a motion for a new trial before sentencing because they're trying to say that a blood specialist from the state gave scientifically false evidence at trial regarding the blood found in the upper hall carpet. Motion is denied.
Wow.
And he is sentenced. District Judge Dale Hagen asks Rick if he has anything to say for himself before sentencing. This would be the time to say it, and Rick just shook his head. Nothing to say for yourself, huh? Nothing at all, you piece of shit?
Yeah.
Nothing? Okay.
Not even I'm sorry.
So this guy, Hagen said, okay, well, you're going to go to prison, quote, for your lifetime.
Holy shit.
Let's bring in a one thing we do in crime and sports. When someone who deserves to be sentenced to a long prison sentence gets sentenced, we have something where we just say the judge might say to him, look at him and say, you, sir, may fuck off, and send them to prison. So you, sir, may fuck off. 6 consecutive life sentences, no parole. Eat a dozen dicks, you asshole.
At least 6.
At least, no, double. I want double. You know what? One more. Baker's dozen of dicks. Have a Baker's dick dozen. Enjoy, motherfucker. So, 1996, their house is sold.
Okay.
The murder house is sold for $58,500.
It dropped in price.
It did. There's a reason. New owner also found dried blood in the closet.
Oh, shit.
She freaked out a little bit. This woman named Selena Ayers said she opened the closet and found dried blood. She said, I was just mad. I thought they had it all cleaned up. Wow. Crazy.
I mean, they don't have to. That's not their responsibility. When you bought a house, you should have checked
there to
everything.
Not be brain matter on things.
Suppose.
I would say there not be viscera all over
the
place.
But you knew what happened in there.
And they knew, and that's why they got it cheap. They call it the homicide house. They make jokes. The husband, Brian, says, quote, ghosts would at least understand things I'm talking about around here. And then she says, after all that, she said, unfortunately, all those children had to die.
Oh, good God.
She points.
What a horrible phrase.
She's got a reporter, and she points to a bedroom, and she said, when she's over there, she goes, this is where they found 4 of them, like pointing over here. There's dead people here. Wow. They said, Brian, the husband, said, quote, when the house was put on the market, there was controversy. Some people thought the memory should die with the people and that they should tear it down and put up a memorial. But it's a beautiful house.
I mean, that doesn't do anybody any service.
No, but we've had a few of these where they knock the house down and they build another one. Like, let's not have this
But just build
here.
a memorial, like a fucking garden or something?
Knock that shit down, build another house.
That brings way more attention than an actual house there. The only people that know about it are the people that know about it. Unless you're out there just fucking telling everybody that that's what happened there.
And they were just looking for a good price. Yeah. They said it didn't matter. Didn't matter to them. People said they were crazy. Yeah. They just pulled the carpet up. And when they bought it, the carpet was all pulled up from where there was, brain matter, that sort of things. Problems. That's a good way to put it here. And they said they were just looking for a nice house to get pretty cheap.
Yeah. You got it for $60,000. Shut up. Whatever's in there, you're fine with.
And the real estate agent said, quote, it would probably cause a house to be on the market for a while, a murder. And, quote, at some point, someone would be able to purchase it for under the market value,
no doubt.
like these people. Rick is appealing like crazy, appeals on several grounds. Evidence insufficiency, that blood stuff, says that that blood stuff with the state thing. He's giving scientifically inaccurate information. Ineffective assistance of counsel, saying that he didn't appropriately fight to say that he was incompetent. Also, the journal admission, saying Jolene's journal, which doesn't matter because it was duplicated evidence anyway. And also the evidence exclusion because he had even more crazy theories about Kevin Reinhart that they didn't let him put in because there was zero evidence to possibly back it up. And also they wouldn't let evidence come in of Jolene had a couple therapy sessions in 1985.
Who gives a shit?
And they wanted to put that. Well, that means that her brother killed everybody because she had 2 therapy sessions because I was being an asshole. That's what that is. She probably had therapy sessions because of him. It was probably like, I'm going to need to talk to your wife separately so we can figure out what's going on
my
with him.
son died. I'm going to go to therapy for that.
So trial court excludes all of this shit and says, no, sorry. They affirm all the exclusion of everything and say to fuck off. 2008, another appeal. This one is all about the competency. All about competency. There's a ton of stuff with all of the different psychiatrists, and they're challenging this one, and it's really ridiculous. He says that the experts examining him lacked the requisite training to assist him because they were clinical, not forensic mental health experts. The court says that he presents neither a factual basis for differentiating categorically between clinical and forensic psychiatrists or psychologists, nor any legal authority for that to make a fucking difference at all. You pulled that out of your ass because you saw they were different words. And you were like, maybe that's something.
There it is.
Throw it against the wall. Nope, not sticking. Shit. Wow, man.
That spaghetti's not even stringy yet. Like, that's still stiff spaghetti. Just because words are different.
That's what I mean. It's
that's going to bounce clean off the wall.
Yeah, then that's exactly, it's right off like a Super Bowl. Come back and hit you right in the face. And they're saying about the lawyer too, like he was in a tough spot. This lawyer. There's tons of evidence, and he said that it wouldn't be a good. The lawyer basically said it was strategy not to do crazy, not to go for the insanity, because it looks like he did it, and he didn't want to go for the, quote, I did not do it, but if I did, I was insane defense, because that never fucking works. And he was right, and this wasn't going to work. Sorry, you were laying there with a gun in your hand. You're going to prison, asshole.
It's going to happen.
It's going to happen here.
And they look at the husband first. Oh, look, he's here too.
Yeah.
With gunshot residue fucking everywhere.
The court here says that because Forsyth has alleged no grounds in support for his claim of ineffective assistance of counsel, of his appellate counsel, beyond those alleged against him at trial, alleged against his trial counsel, that claim fails. The judgment is affirmed. He is now sitting his asshole self in Anamosa State Prison in Iowa.
Of course.
Enjoy. Jolene and all the kids, all of her kids, all of their kids, are buried at Oakwood Cemetery in Pleasant Hill in Iowa. So that's a tragedy, and that is... at the time, one of the worst, and it might have been the worst mass killing in the history of Iowa.
Wow.
At the time when that happened. I don't know about now. I'm sure somebody shot up a school or something
Probably.
now. But at the time, it was.
Yeah. And the dad, the guy that left, he now has to go the rest of his life knowing...
Being guilty, feeling guilty for that.
And his crime, what he did was move on with his life and start dating somebody.
And it seems like a safe place, safest place. It's such a great place. Violent crime is
Norwalk.
A third of the normal. It's average town. They're staying on Main Street, USA. There it is. Wow. So that mess of a story, if you like that mess of a story, or at least our telling of it, please get on iTunes and give us 5 stars.
There you go.
It helps us out so much on the business end. If you want to be a superstar in our eyes and a producer to the show, you can get on patreon.com/crimeinsports.
Crime in Sports.
That is the one, and you can make a donation there. And if you want to do a one-time donation of any amount, you can go to PayPal and use our email address, crimeinsports@gmail.com.
Crime in Sports, the opposite of crime out sports.
You got it. And if you want to get a hold of the show on social media, you can do that on Twitter @MurderSmall.
There you go.
Facebook.com/SmallTownPod. And like we said, crimeinsports@gmail.com. Jimmy, why don't you hit us with the list of our most loved people, our producers. What do you have for us today?
It was bananas this week between going to L.A. and performing out there and meeting so many of you unbelievable people. And then we got a gift at the show of note cards, too. Just the outpouring of support from you guys is fucking incredible, and we love watching it happen. So thank you guys all. And the start this week, we've got Courtney Pentecost. Shit. Right out of the gate.
Shit gave us something? Awesome. Shit's been so good to us.
Alexi Makinen. Shit. That sounds terrible. That's definitely not her or his name. Alexi. It's Alexi. That's definitely the first name, but Makinen
You've never pronounced the name right. Nobody cares. I said Lino instead of Lino 6 months ago, and I still fucking get tweets today.
About
and
it.
I tell every single one of them to go fuck themselves.
And Alexi is gonna fucking tweet me and be like, "You were close. It was adorable." Or
that's
some
what
shit.
I mean. Yeah,
whatever.
And what about you, Minnesota? Let some love for me, dickheads.
Andrea Decatur, Jared Howhay, APP. Is that app or is that I'm not sure. Maybe a business.
Down with APP.
Krista Fleischer, Jess Landgren, and again, Chrissy-Ann Cristaldi. The two of you, Chrissy-Ann Cristaldi and Jess Landgren, you two are fantastic. Wow. Thank you both.
Thank you so much. Yeah. Bottom of our hearts.
Melissa Butler, John Bickness, Paul Schultz, Laura Sinclair, Blaine Holderby, Melissa Hoover, Luis Figueroa. He was at the show in L.A., by the way. He drove down from San Francisco with his friends.
Awesome.
Where was I at? Sarah Suong, S-U-O-N-G. Suong?
Yeah,
Suong.
sure.
Sarah Swong, David Edmonds, Jose Oliveras. I hope that's one of the cholos from LA.
I hope
Those guys were so awesome.
Those guys ruled.
Angela Banks Mason, Sarah Diaz-Hendino? That's got to be it.
Diaz-Hendino?
That sounds right.
Yeah, sure. What the hell?
I like it. Denise Sanchez, Kellen Englert, Aaron Dombrowski, Jessica Paredes, Kevin. Okay, so here's something. He's got a business. Kevin Texera Art and Stuff. So try to figure out how to spell Kevin Texera Art and Stuff.
Probably like Teixeira, like Mark Teixeira.
It's exactly that.
It's Teixeira.
God damn it.
Yeah.
Jordan Bodell. I know who that guy is. Why didn't I try to fucking pronounce it like that?
He played in the majors for 15 years.
That's like me going Jourdain. It's definitely Jourdain. No, it's Jordan, you fucking idiot. Jordan Bodell, J.D. Harper, Tristan McKay, Alice. It might be Alice with an E. Smith. Alice Smith. Kataya Patovia. No, it's not. Kataya Padovani.
Okay. Yeah,
here's an easy one. You ready? Pickles. Good for you, Pickles. Thanks for donating.
Thank you.
Catherine Sawinski, Craig Ventura. He loves the Mexican Pimp and the Shawarma Man. I just love his brother Ace. No, not a good joke. Ace Ventura? I don't know. Mark Williams,
Terrible.
Laura Willis, Amy D'Angelo, Flavia Perez, Andrew Pearson, Scarlett Charlton, Lindsay Ray, Blaze Cruz. I know how to pronounce that. You almost got me with Blast, but it's definitely Blaze. Blaze Cruz, Luis, Nilo Rafsanjani. What?
Whoa.
What was that?
That wasn't bad.
Where did I pull that shit out?
Right, yeah. Holy shit.
Aaron Anderson, Laura Christensen.
Ventriloquist in here somewhere.
Laura Christensen, Travis Mays, Corey Greiton or Greiton? No, Gaiton. It's an A, not an R.
Gaiton?
Right, Corey Gaiton. That's it. Julie Smallman. That's me, right? Me?
Yeah, you got that.
Leslie Green, Beth Burleson, Looper Joy Looper, Alex Marchi, or Marchi. Is it March? Is that an R? I'm an asshole. Don Gordon.
I have no idea. I'm just
Katie Heisel, Tiffany Daubert, Torin Beckerud.
You know, they say when you're in quicksand, You're not supposed to struggle or kick. You're just supposed to look for a branch or something to grab onto.
Grab something.
Your fucking feet are kicking and you're sinking hard.
Baccaroot, Mary Grace Hewlett, Cassandra Walters, Rachel Bridge, David Edmonds, Sarah Beamish, Rebecca Lemmer, Taryn Winnie. Yes. Taryn Winnie, Andy Reynolds, Mike Kennedy, and Stuart Davies. You guys are fucking amazing.
Thank you guys. Honestly,
thank you for forcing me to struggle through that because I'm an idiot.
Guys.
I love you guys. For real. Thank you for being our producers, and thank you for dragging us.
Every cent, everything you guys do for us is we're blown away by it. We still don't understand it.
Yeah.
It's the show does well in the charts and stuff like that, and we don't understand it.
No.
We don't get it.
Because of you guys.
We don't get why you're so nice to us or what it is. But thank you so much.
Thank you.
It feels weird, but god damn it, do we love it?
Yeah.
And we're just thank you guys so much from the bottom of our hearts. You couldn't find two more appreciative people for any amount of love that you want to give us. So that said, Jimmy, where would they go if they wanted to get a hold of, I don't know, a guy like yourself?
If you want to correct me for any of that, which you probably won't, you can find me at Whisman Sucks, WHISMAN Sucks, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat. Thank you guys so much for being involved, and thank you for playing along. This has been really, really fun. Love you guys.
And I am at Jimmy P is Funny. You can find me there. Copy and paste my last name from the show description. Don't be a hero and try to spell it because you will fuck it up. Jimmy would never be able to pronounce it in a million years if he didn't know me very well.
Pietra? It's P-I-E. It's got to be Pietra.
I still am not. You know what? If I just handed him a piece of paper and said, read that, I think it would take him 3 times before he go, oh, it's your last name.
That's
okay,
your last name. That's all.
So I think it would take that. But thank you guys so much for everything this week. We can't wait for next week. It's going to be a blast. So until next week, guys, it's been our pleasure.
Bye.